All right.
Ah, it's so hot.
Yes.
Outside.
Okay.
I'm back.
Yeah, I think I went too far from the thing because we both got kicked off. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me go back inside it. Hold on.
8 apiece, 3 for 20. 2 for 20. Hello?
So I had a question to pop it off.
What happened to IBM? He bounced?
Huh?
What happened to IBM? He bounced?
Say that again?
What happened to Indigenous? He left?
I don't know if he could get himself off. Yeah, the number definitely changed. Move. I gotta put the phone number back in the chat because there is a new number now.
Okay.
Like we both got kicked off. All right. All right. Okay, give me. Yeah. All right. So yeah, but the cell phone they made. Okay, come sit over here. They definitely made the cell phone like your chip, basically.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I knew that. So. Like I said, there's certain ways to protect. I mean, it's an arduous task to say the least. Very intricate measures you got to take to make sure you protect yourself, but there are ways to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to, like, to me, it's like, you know, when you know better, you do better, right? So once you understand that these threats exist, then you can go online and figure out how to neutralize the threats. As simple as a Google search, and they'll tell you, cut this off, cut that off, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can neutralize the very threat that, you know, you guys are worried about.
Yeah, it's on you down with the Bilderberger because you talking. Like, you want us to stay in this own matrix. Anyway, all right, so let's get to hip hop rap.
12 for the little ones and 20 for the big ones.
So are you ready for the Swazi? Are you ready?
I was born ready and I was already on fish and spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. Let me first put the phone number back in there. Yeah, IBM, you only welcome. You don't start that name calling stuff. And yeah, it's simple. It's simple. Like, you know, you can build whatever. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, man. How do I get out of this? Okay. Yeah, you froze, yeah. You froze. All right, you back. What was that last thing you said? Yeah, is my mustache too dark? Yeah, I'm looking like Billy D. Williams and shit. Carl Weathers. but you froze right now.
Lollipop. Lollipop.
Yeah, you was froze, brother. Focus. You still froze. Yeah, you still froze.
Hello?
Yeah, you were froze. You were froze. Can you hear me? You can hear me?
You hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
So I will open it now.
Can you hear?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I hear
You.
you.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. You can hear me?
Can't hear you.
Okay.
Go on.
Me?
Sit down.
All right, hello?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right. Okay, so what'd you say last? You said something real quick.
About what?
I don't know. All right, so let me ask you the first question, all right, about hip hop rap. You ready?
I'm ready.
So it's a two-part question. There's an A and there's a B, all right? You can answer them together at your leisure. So who started hip hop rap and does it matter?
I think at its inception, um, it came out of New York. It was more of an underground movement, wasn't really accepted by the mainstream. You know, you had your Africa Bambatas and your Sugar Hill gangs and your Curtis Blows and different ones who was like credited as being like, you know, the pioneers, you know what I'm saying? Like but like quintessentially it was us, it was the people. It was a new form of music that we basically came up with. Like we came up with the vast majority of the other music. You know what I mean?
Wait,
Uh,
just back up. Because you said us, you didn't clarify who that is, and you said we. So who is the us and we? Because that's some of the controversy. It's important to, you know.
I mean, black people. You know, out of New York, I think I believe the Bronx or
Wait.
Queens.
When you say black people, is that all like Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, or is that like
So
FBA black?
I mean, so to me, there's two blacks, right? One black is, you know, all the darker peoples of the nation of the earth,
Right.
right? You know what I'm saying? The ethnic people. But then I also think that black is a cultural experience as well.
Okay.
So, you know, black, you know, like Latino or, you know, whatever, you know, it's a cultural experience. So I believe, I mean, in this instance, when I say black, I'm referring to the sons and daughters of Africa. I'm referring to the you know, the children of the slave trade.
All
I'm
right.
referring
So let
to
me say this. So typically when we hear black, right, especially like 20 years ago, you hear black. That's Black Americans, that's Haitians, and that's like Jamaicans and the Caribbean islands. Period. All right. So like typically when I hear black, I automatically think of Jamaicans, Haitians, Black Americans, and anybody of the Caribbean islands. Is that how you're defining it, or you're
no,
more
no, no, no,
inclusive?
no. When I think Haitians and Jamaicans, I always included them into the population of the black people in the diaspora of the world.
Right.
So when I'm talking about black, I'm talking about black Americans. I'm
Okay.
talking about right. So you know, the people who were affected by Jim Crow and Willie Lynch and American policies, redlining and
All right, so what about the Haitians and the Jamaicans and the Puerto Ricans that was here during that time? Would they be fall to the black? Yeah, you turned to RoboCop. Yeah, we can't hear nothing.
In the sense of,
Yeah, we didn't hear nothing you said. Nah, it didn't come through.
Nah,
you're still breaking up.
1 second.
Yeah, you're still breaking up. So none of your answers was heard. So he'll be back. Yeah, because when we go into the us, the we, the them, like we need to really establish those nouns because we're going to have our own understanding and opinion of who that us, we, them, they. So let's get those nouns out now. So now when he continue to use the words us, we, them, they, we can know who he is speaking about without guessing. So that's sort of the phone number and the meeting number is there. Let me put the Zoom number in also because we have a good bill. Anybody can join, just not all at the same time. Right? So I know it's kind of early in the day, but I definitely invited almost everybody I could on Facebook. Right, Born, Ujau, Team Osiris. Well, some of them came definitely. Chief X, but it's like 2 a.m. in Chief X time. But I wanted to get a good build out of Brother Focus first, and then as time progresses, people one by one start adding. And the same question I'm asking DJ Focus, I'm going to ask whoever else joined the live. But then, of course, we're going to talk about culture vultures. I'm going to have them define that, because I think I think it's good to establish these definitions before we start talking about hip hop, rap as a whole. Okay, so let me see if I have any interesting clips that I can play while we wait for folks to come back. Let me see. Academic said, fuck that. I don't know if it's clickbait, but he said Diddy snitched on Jay-Z. But that's all you guys wanted to hear. See, here's the thing. Like what DJ Focus and I was talking about kind of earlier, like we tear ourselves down. Diddy is in trouble, it seems, right? He's locked up, he's in trouble, he's indicted. What do black people do? Black people immediately start throwing other black people under the bus because of Diddy arrest. We start defaming other black icons, legends. I mean, for what? But we do it ourselves, and then when the major society hops on that bandwagon, we want to scream racism. It's like, yo, why? Okay, Diddy's arrested. Why do we volunteer? I mean, then you guys talk about no snitching. And that ain't my rule. That's some of you guys' rules, right? Then you guys start snitching on like, hey, man, this person, that person, Usher. We got to stay focused.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you a little better. But we didn't hear none of your answer. And yeah, we didn't hear none of your answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's why we can't hear you. You out there ordering McDonald's. We can't hear nothing you was talking about.
All right. Um. So when you when you when you're dealing with the inception of
Right.
rap at its beginnings,
Man, eat your cheeseburger first, man.
I'm hungry. Black Americans were the pioneers.
Oh my God.
Um. You know. I
This
believe
guy.
there's some. I believe there's some people who vouch for the fact that even Hispanics in New York
Here you go again. Here you go again.
were what?
Breaking up.
Here I go with what?
Breaking up.
Oh, I believe that you can't hear me at all.
I hear you now.
Hold on. What's up? Yeah. So you have people who believe that even Hispanics and New York,
Jamaicans and Islanders and white people, right?
well, once again, it was Black Americans who pioneered it. But y'all remember, we're all living in the same neighborhoods in New York. So sure, we bounce ideas off each other. Sure, there was some Hispanics that were vital, um, to rap in its inception. Perhaps even some West Indians. Absolutely.
What about
But
white people? What about whites? Do you think any whites were early inspirational people into rap, hip hop?
not really. I mean, they shunned it more than anything. Um, Once it became more mainstream, you had your Marky Marks and your Vanilla Ices and your Beastie Boys and different
So,
ones.
so, so you don't think there's white people as early as Run DMC helping
Oh,
spread, hip hop, make it global?
people I'm talking about came out before Run DMC.
Huh?
The people I'm talking about who pioneered it, the Curtis Blows and different ones, came out
Right.
before. They
Yeah,
came
of
out
course.
before Run DMC. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, perhaps you had, like I said, once it became more mainstream, you had more white acts willing to take
So,
part.
so when you say more mainstream, like, what would that be, the Run DMC era?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I
okay,
mean,
okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to put a time frame to it. You did it?
yeah.
Okay. Because
I'll
if you
tell
leave
you.
it at that, people might think New Kids on the Block. They might think that late.
Well, I mean, I I clarified the time I was talking about when I mentioned Curtis Blow, Africa Bambaataa,
Now,
and
I
Sugar.
know, but yeah, but what you did was you said other white people got involved in mainstream. So now that was a different time frame than Curtis Blow, and I want to know how, because that's not to giving us like a time frame. It could be 2000, 2010. You know, like we don't know how far from Curtis Blow you're saying they got involved. Is what I'm trying to pin you to.
Yeah, well, the Curtis Blows and the different ones, Sugar Hill Gang, that was, late 70s, early 80s.
Daddy, it's diamond.
Yeah.
Run DMC was a little bit later, mid 80s,
It's diamond.
Yes, it does.
early to mid 80s. Um, shit. And then by the time you get to New Kids on the Block and the Beastie Boys and all that, you're talking about late 80s, early 90s. So, these are three different dispensations of time. But to answer your point, black folks came up with it.
And now, when you say came up with it, would you agree that when you say it, like it, hip hop wasn't? I would say, let me know if I'm wrong. The it thing wasn't finished yet; it was still growing, right? Or you're saying hip hop was already hip hop when other people started, like it was already defined as something, it wasn't growing no more. It was confined in itself, and people joined in the boat.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the last live that we did on hip hop, and I had brought that letter up, all these record executives and producers was confused and confounded on why they was having a meeting about hip hop, because none of them really believed in the potential of its growth. So there's a grassroots movement of hip hop that was not funded by the corporations, that was not funded by the mainstream, that was not funded by these big record labels, but they were funded by and pioneered and produced by the people, right? So these grassroots hip hop movements are truly what we recognize as the inception of hip hop, right? You had your beat boxing, you had your breaking, you had your pop locking, you had your rap battles, and this is what we call the inception of the hip hop culture. So this is, like I said, this is pre the mainstream. I mean, if that answers your question.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
So, all right. So now you said mainstream, and you said without the big record execs and everything. All right. So when I look back, right, from now till the inception, I kind of feel like hip hop wasn't and should have never been mainstream. I don't think it was designed to be mainstream, and it should have never been taken to mainstream. It should have just been an underground culture, like a culture thing, and without exploding to the world and being so influential that it is now. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's what they said about all music we pioneered. It was a time that jazz was underground and wasn't getting the respect of the mainstream, and people didn't believe in the potential of its growth. The blues, same way. The underground, people didn't believe in the potential of its growth. You got to kind of show that there is, a valid upward trajectory, exponential upward trajectory, before anything is quote unquote accepted by the mainstream. So, I mean, I think mainstream is kind of two definitions. You got mainstream in the sense of what's acceptable to the powers that be, what they'll push. Then you have mainstream in the sense of what captured and captivated the people. You know, once millions and millions and millions of people acquiesce to the quote unquote underground movement of, you know, any new genre of music or anything at its inception, it becomes mainstream, right? And at that point is when the powers that be look to usurp, control, monetize these particular avenues. So, you know, to say hip hop should never have been mainstream, I can't agree with that. You know, I just think that it should have been something that we retained control over, whether it was mainstream or not. And that's a lot of the problem with being controlled, being a slave, being occupied, if you will, right? You have less of an ability to retain control of your ideas. And I mean, all the way through slavery was the same way. You know, you had great black inventors that weren't able to profit adequately off of their inventions because they were controlled by the masses, right? So once we see the potential for exponential growth, we just want to take that from you, which is why I always say black people are the golden goose of America. You know, we produce it, they take control over it. We pioneer it, they take control over it. We make it mainstream, they take control over it. We make it popular, they take control over it. So, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, this is, you know, the movement, all movements that we have, you know, should be something we retain control over because that's how you really, really grow the economic power of your people. So if we were able to, you know, take all of these industries, whether it be sports, music, invention, whatever the case may be, you know, that we pioneered and we were able to retain control over it, not just idealistically, but monetarily, I think the black economy will be in a much higher position than it is now. And we'll be able to negotiate from a position of power. So we set the rules at that point. And we say, look, we're not going to let you do this. We're not going to rap about that. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. So, you know, but like I said, I mean, I think, you know, hip hop and all of the rest of them are something that we, you know, pioneered and that we should benefit primarily off of.
So what I was saying was that when you want to make something mainstream, right? And it don't even, when I say mainstream, it don't even got to be like to other than who's involved in the culture. Like let's say it's in New York, right? And black folks are adopting it. They're loving it, right? They're growing up in it. They're being a part of it. And you know, you might feel like, okay, let's spread this to other black folks throughout the nation. Okay, so we really don't have that power to do that, especially like at a fast moving pace, because we want other black folks to experience this hip hop creation. So this is when you start to shake hands with the people you're saying, people that big. You start saying, okay, I want this to spread in Chicago, let's say California, just different cities. And you say, all right, now we don't have those means, we don't have that type of. So now what we're doing is we're shaking hands with those people that can get it to those places. And you know when you shake hands with those people, that's business. That's business now. Hey, all right, yeah. What you guys got going on? It's just a fun thing y'all doing. Y'all expressing yourselves. But you shaking my hand. I'm a businessman. All right, so I went in because I'm listening and I see where it's going potentially. All right, I can help you out, but I want in, and that's how Go ahead.
There's no problem with letting people in, or no problem with handshakes, or doing business with others. That's not the problem. The problem is when you're an occupied nation. The problem is when you are a controlled entity within a nation, then you don't negotiate from a position of power, which is what I just covered earlier. By us retaining control over it, we can negotiate from a position of power. So I'll shake your hand, but I still retain control. See, the problem is that because we are controlled by them, because we're still occupied, because we are still, you know, uh, under their thumb, if you will, then ain't no handshaking really being done. It's get down and lay down. And that's the problem. When they hit us with the get down and lay down, then they are negotiating from a position of power, and they retain, or obtain, I should say, the control over these particular grassroots movements that have the exponential potential for growth. So as a people, we should always aim to retain control over our ideas, over our inventions, over our movements,
So why
right?
we can't work that out as we're shaking hands with the man, like the man? Why we got to get and lay down as we're trying to expand it to other black cities? Why we just can't have the balls to say, "Hey, man, it, you know, because you got to negotiate. It's not a get down and lay down. It's like, nah, well, I'm not doing it because there's nothing for them to take and spread if we're not the product, if we're not producing the product, right? So at that same table, you can say, no, I just need you to distribute. So, or if you can't do that, then there's no deal. Like, why do we have to say, oh, you don't want to just do that? Oh, okay, then, give me
Well,
the
well,
pen and let me just sign the contract.
well, you have to understand, there was plenty of people who tried to retain control. There was plenty of people who stood on the hill and died on the hill of, I'm not signing that contract.
No,
I'm
no,
not
but,
giving you
but
that.
I'm trying to start. I'm trying to start when we was expanding it. Like I'm not going to like what you call the mainstream era. I'm still at the
Well,
underground right now.
let me bring it home.
Okay.
So there were plenty of people who tried to retain the control. There were plenty of people who wouldn't sign the contracts. There were plenty of people who weren't acceptable of the deal. However, when you are under the thumb of the powers that be, it doesn't matter. It's like with Israel and Gaza. They took the land from the Gazans, took the land from the Palestinians, and then said, accept this two-state solution. And when the Palestinians said no, because you're only giving us 25 to 30% of our own land, when we make up 60 to 70% of the population, so that's not a fair deal for us. They said, we don't care. We'll bomb you to hell, and we'll occupy you. We'll create an apartheid state. We'll control your water. We'll control your food coming in. We'll control the airway. It doesn't matter because you are under an occupier. So the reality of the matter is, even though, I mean, you really do a discredit to those people who stood on that hill and died on that hill by intimating that they all just said, "Ooh, I'll sign it." They didn't.
Now
But
I wouldn't paint
because
that picture for you because that's kind of I believe you was going there. But I'm saying it like you just gave us a depiction of Israel and Palestine. Okay, now show me how that played out in hip hop, right? Because yes, show me how that happened. Show me how, hey, let's do a two-state deal, or let's do, and then they say, well, we can just bomb you and take everything anyway. Like, show me how that was done
well,
in hip hop in the beginning stage.
okay, well, you had, like I said, not only the grassroots movements, but you had the grassroots artists, right? Who
Yeah.
were who were, you know, totally um fixed on the idea of maintaining not only control, but maintaining creative control, right? So you had your KRS ones, your different ones who, you know, said, look, we make positive music. This is about revolutionary spirit. You know, we're not going to get down, right? So what they did, because they control the radio, they control the airwaves, they control the record companies, they just got P. Diddy and they just got Dr. Dre and them. And they just gave those people control, those people who would sign the deal and get down and lay down. Remember, when you say, oh, if we didn't sign those deals, who's we? We all didn't sign deals. We all weren't acceptable of the new trajectory of hip hop. We weren't acceptable of the deal that they presented to us, but they control everything. So they just picked some niggas who were acceptable and they pushed them to the mainstream and said, all right, now you got to either get down with them or we'll wipe you out of existence. But once again, this is what happens when you are a controlled people. This is what happens when, like Gaza, you are occupied. This is what happens when you are under the thumb of the oppressor or the powers that be or whatever. They don't have to respect your handshake or your conditions or your terms because you're not negotiating from a position of power. You're
You're not.
not. And when the people who did have grassroots power, underground power, you know, the power of the people who supported them, these people were vilified, ostracized, destroyed, and removed
Give
from
me an
the.
example. Give me an example of one of them.
I just mentioned the Public Enemies, the KRS
Yeah,
Ones,
yeah,
the.
but remember when I was trying to talk about like something, then you was like, hey, I'm talking about Curtis Blow, and like you kind of like brushed it off and said, hey, like that's like late mainstream. Okay, well, when you talk about the KRS One, we're talking about mainstream. I'm trying to go to the Curtis Blow era. Like, when did they have no power or leverage when they are the culture? Like they have all the power and leverage. Nothing is
Okay, but
there's no hip hop if they don't involve themselves in it.
all right, but remember, I told you there's two different definitions of mainstream. So the KRS Ones were mainstream in the sense of they had the power of the people, they had the power of their creativity and the fact that they were pioneers, and people were getting down with them when the powers that be said, you know,
Yeah. So, let me say
but
this.
then there.
So we're not jumping because I don't want to go from the 70s to 85.
I'm not jumping. I hate when y'all do that. I'm not jumping. I'm right on point. I'm right. You
But
just gotta follow me.
I was trying to keep you doing like the beginnings of hip hop. I want to try to jump to like the 85 that quick. I was gonna, come to that point. But come from like the Curtis Blow, what you mentioned earlier, those rappers, the Funkadelics, whatever you call, what's the guy name? Bam, whatever. I was trying to go from them and then move up to the mainstream rappers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was gonna say, show me examples of those guys, the early rappers, the people who pretty much started. Show me how they were co-opted or taken advantage of, disregarded, disrespected, get down and lay down, and then we could work it till now, to some point.
Okay. So these artists that you're speaking of,
Yeah.
Curtis Blows, these different ones, they were
Bambaataa.
indeed African about right. They were indeed just that, artists, right? They weren't moguls. They weren't quote unquote record companies. The record companies came later, okay, when you had your Russell Simmons and your different
So
ones.
how did they get the music out? The Bambaatas, if they didn't have record labels, and how did they get the music out?
Well, certain ones, if the song was good enough, like Rappers Delight, different ones, what they would do was sign single deals, right? In which we're going to take this particular song that has vast popularity, we're going to distribute it to the masses of the people for this particular, you know, price or whatever the case may be, right? But once again, these were artists. As hip hop began to grow, and we realized the exponential potential for growth, for global monetary growth. You had different ones who tried to, you know, retain control, if you will, okay, um, of the music, right? And they weren't given not only the resources and the distribution, but they weren't given the credibility. That's why I go back to the there's two types of mainstreams. So the KRS ones and different ones were mainstream in the sense that they were popular, right? But they weren't mainstream in the sense that they was getting respect from the international and national mass media. You had to go to certain marginalized circles to see KRS-One. You had to go to certain marginalized circles to see our early hip hop heads, if you will, right? Um, I mean, straight up until the 2000s, I would watch all types of rappers and different ones who you had to go watch on Rap City and you had to go watch on Big Tigger in the basement. But they wasn't on MTV. They wasn't on VH1. They weren't given. They act like these niggas ain't even exist.
Cool.
Like we not even the powers that be act like these dudes didn't even exist.
Now, who would that be? If somebody wanted to say, you know, somebody's like, who the powers would be? Who would that be?
The record companies, the major labels, the you know,
The major, right, the major one.
Island, RCA, Atlantic, you know, Sony, right? These they weren't Sony kind of gains its power later on, but you know, earlier in the game, like I said, these people weren't given they weren't given the credence and credibility that they deserved. Okay. I remember Michael Jackson.
When you say deserve, like deserve from who? From whom? Because if this is just for black folks, right? It's our culture, it's our thing. Like, why do others who are not in the culture, why? And I'm not saying white people; it can be Spanish, Chinese, Indian. Like, why do they need to respect it? And you know, why do we need to deserve their, you know, nod? Like, oh yeah, you guys are good.
Well, because we had the people. See, that's what I'm saying. These people were mainstream in their own right, independent of you accepting us, independent of you distributing us or acknowledging us. These people were mainstream in their own right. So that's why they deserved it. Because all throughout the clubs, all throughout the underground, you know, movement, the people were listening. This was a movement that garnered and gained and deserved respect based upon the unique attributes that existed within it, based upon the creativity,
So,
based upon
what
the
type of recognition did you think that they needed that they deserved that the dominant society wasn't respecting?
national attention, national
So you talking about free? You know that's going to cost you some money if you want people to just market advertise you for free.
yeah, but I'm not saying that. What I'm
That
saying
sounds like
is
business.
they didn't respect those who okay, but what I'm saying is they didn't respect those who did the work, who created the grassroots movement. They did was act like these niggas didn't exist. So you turn on any white station, you turn on MTV, you turn on VH1, you listen to any, they literally would just act like they don't exist. Like, like these people weren't doing what they were doing. I mean, once the people are captivated to this degree, you should be coming to us, negotiating with us, accepting the terms of our deal, and and you know, acknowledging our existence. Okay, you can't take a people and everything they do. You're gonna operate irrespective of the popularity that they've garnered and deserved, and just act like these niggas don't exist. We ain't gonna put you on American Bandstand. We ain't gonna put you on ABC. You ain't on Dick Clark's New Year Rockin' Eve. We're not gonna do none of that. We just gonna literally act like you don't exist. And the only place you can get these is the marginalized circle. So as I said, yes, they are in control. Yes,
So
they have the stations. They have
so
the distribution. So, but irregardless, we need to be able to operate from a position of power and say, listen, you see what we're doing. Let's shake these hands. Let's make the deals, which is what I said. There's no problem with that. But you're going to give me the deal I want and the deal I deserve. They don't do that.
but in business, that's not how. In business, like there's no such thing as what I deserve. In business, you're going to negotiate or you're not.
So the reality of the matter is there is such thing as that in business. If that's what you
I deserve this, but they can say, well, yeah, but give it to somebody else. We're not going to sign you. We're not going to pay you.
Sir.
You can't, right? So I can go to somewhere and say, hey, man, look what I got. Look what I built. I deserve a contract. Give it to me. And they got to give me a contract? That's crazy. I think you froze.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. So, I froze. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, so the reality of the matter is this. Let's take a look at Silicon Valley, right? You got a bunch of these young upstart tech geeks who created, apps, created social media, who created a paradigm for tech growth, right? These people, intellectual property was retained until they decide to sell it or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, their intellectual property is retained. See, to say in business that we should not have fair business practices or that our intellectual property and creativity should not be respected is bullshit. The reality of the matter is, in all business practices that don't involve Black people for some reason, since we're under their thumb, people's intellectual property is not only respected and retained, but they're paid very well for it. Okay, so the reality of the matter is, no, you're wrong. There is a point when you say, look, we've grown our company, we've grown our grassroots movement, we've grown our artists, we've grown our popularity to a particular point that we should be recognized. You can't not put us on the American Music Awards, not put us on the Grammys, not put us on radio stations, not put us on VH1 and MTV, and literally act like we don't. Well, they control it, right? So, I mean, once again, it goes back to my point where we need to do for self. We need to have our own situation so that even if we do shake hands with you, it's operating from a position of power. See, integration is not operating from a position of power. Integration is, let me drink at your water fountain. Let me eat at your restaurant. Let me eat with you. Let me sign me, boss. Give me some welfare, boss. Please, let's pass a law, please, that benefits us. That's integration. But separation, not segregation, separation gives us the ability to grow our own companies, to grow our own media resources, whatever the case may be, so that when we do these handshake deals, whatever you want to call it, we're operating and negotiating from a position of power. When you operate and negotiate from a position of power, you get the deal you want, the deal you deserve, based upon the popularity that you have built. That's a fact. Now, yeah, we can take it back to the, oh yeah, well, you got to work with white folks to get, to the mainstream. All right, that's fine. Which is what I said. They run the country, fine. However, That's why I said there's no problem with us doing handshake deals. There's no problem with us working with people. But we have to do that, maintaining and retaining control, monetary control, creative control. We have to do that, maintaining our beliefs and principles. We have to do that, um, you know, while getting the respect for the companies and grassroots movements that we have built. Because we're under that thumb, they can just take the shit, which is what they did with blues, rock and roll, country, jazz, R&B, hip hop. They took it. Said, look, I got something for you. We just gonna do what the fuck we want to do to you, because you belong to us.
But ain't that always like I said, like you're putting us in a subjective, which we are, position to the greater people, the greater power, people with the power, right? So any deal we do will always be subjected to I'll just take it. So we already know that going in. Any deal we do, we're at the lower end of the deal. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like when you say I deserve something to people who just could snatch it, I don't know that's the best like business model. Like, if you could just take it, that
the proof that we deserve it is that they took it. They put out the P Diddy's and NWAs and the Dr. Dre's.
So when you say deserve, so you mean like you deserve a deal at your demand? Like just a blank check. Hey man, I deserve a blank check there.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't act irrespective of an entire people and their creative prowess until you're ready to take the shit for yourself. See, the fact of the matter is, hip hop did deserve mainstream national attention. Hip hop did deserve, the proper rewards and benefits. Hip hop did deserve to be respected. You should not have had to go to these marginalized situations while none of the quote unquote mainstream stations would even play your shit. They act like you didn't even fucking exist. All the record labels, big record labels and the media companies said this shit ain't gonna work. It's some fringe, marginalized movement that does not deserve not only our respect, but it doesn't deserve our attention, which is why in the last live you just played, you see we went over that letter. The whistleblower said, listen, when he mentioned that this was the new trajectory of rap, we all snickered because none of us believed in rap. None of us believed in its potential. None of us we all thought it was some fringe bullshit. So I mean, obviously the higher ups knew what it was, which is why they took it, usurped it, and put it in that new trajectory. But the reality of the matter is the pervasive mindset that existed within the mainstream was that this shit wasn't going to last. It don't deserve our respect. It's some fringe movement. It's not worth our attention. However, that was coordinated because they want to disallow you from attaining a certain level of prominence by ignoring your existence until they're ready to operate from the position of power, until they're ready to say, look, just a deal, get down to lay down. Okay? That's wrong. That's immoral. It's not fair business practice. And it's some shit that only happened with us over and over and over again. That we keep creating these new intellectual creative pathways, but don't even get acknowledged until they're ready to control the shit. So no, at the end of the day, as I said before, and I'll say it again, handshaking ain't the problem. Meeting with these people ain't the problem. Doing deals with these people ain't the problem. The problem is operating and negotiating from a position of power. If they continue to ignore your existence, They will always be in the position of power. This is a trick that they play. You gonna just act like you niggas ain't doing what you doing until we control everything. And by the time hip hop became really mainstream, they was having these meetings that the whistleblower was talking about. All right, look, we're gonna take control of this. We're gonna push it in this direction. Because guess what? These niggas is still belong to us. These
When
niggas
did they
still ain't
get
free.
control of it though? When did they get in this position of power where they control hip hop and can influence it and direct it where it's going to go? When did this happen?
Late 80s, early 90s.
How? Okay, so now we know when.
Late
How?
80s, early
Sway? How did it happen?
by the major corporations taking and usurping. Okay. Yes, you had
Explain that process. Because
oh, it's very
because the way you're painting it is at one point black people were in control of it, right? They had it in their hand, and then you're saying somehow these people they pulled our fingers apart and took it out, and I want to know like how that process went, like really, like because that seems like some illegal stuff, you know, where we might have a little
it is
lawsuit,
illegal.
huh?
It is illegal and it's immoral, but you gotta realize the lawsuit you're talking about filing, the action suit you're talking about filing, you're filing it to the same motherfuckers who are perpetuating and perpetrating the fraud.
No, you're not.
So they are. So as I said,
They're omnipotent everywhere. Hey man, I just signed a record deal with you. How you the judge too?
brother, the Department of Justice, the Supreme Court, these
So
people these people are legs of the same power. It's not about being.
collusion. So you believe that they are colluding?
I don't understand what's so hard for y'all to believe
Nah, I'm
that
not.
people are colluding against black folks.
No, bro. I'm just pulling it out of you because you're not using these words, but you're describing it, right? So, because shit, I agree to a large degree on that. I'm not putting that past you know anything, but I'm just getting it out of you. So you believe that at some point there was a collusion, right? Some collusion happened with these major um, industries or entities at some point, what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I'm not arguing that. I want to just, if you can, show us how they actually took the power from us. Tell it who had the power in Black society, like if you know any names or any businesses, business entities, and how did the power get stripped from them where it became solely in the hands of another people, where they were able to influence, direct it, and reshape it. So Black people had the power. If you know the events, like how did they come get it from you or whoever and take it and control themselves and leave whoever at the doorsteps begging for it back? Like, for example, like Amos Cookie, right? That cookie went viral. It was very successful. Amos sold it. Nobody took it from him. He sold his business and he signed things and somehow he was done wrong. I forgot, but he actually exchanged the power to somebody else. Nobody came and took it. Now he might have been done wrong later, but you could see how it changed hands. I'm trying to see how that happened with hip hop. How did the change in hand process happen?
Well, first of all, as you said, Famous Amos was done dirty. So this is still representative of the fact that he wasn't negotiating from a position of power. This is the problem.
He wasn't.
So
He owned his business. Like nobody, if you own it, you have the power. Nobody has the power.
let me finish.
Okay.
He wasn't operating from a position of power. Now, sure, there are certain protections to your intellectual property, which I already explained through the Silicon Valley and different ones. There are certain protections through the uh uh through you know copyright and just having control over your intellectual property and your business model. Okay, fair and ethical business practices, right? There are certain, but even Amos was done dirty. So I mean, it's really not a good example because
Perfect example.
the very real fact of the matter, well, the very real fact of the matter is they're always going to do you dirty because you're under their thumb. So they are always operating from a position of power. You asked the question. You said, when did they gain control and when did they gain power? They've always had control of the mainstream. They've
Of hip
always had.
hop. I'm saying hip hop.
Excuse me, let me
Of course, the
finish.
mainstream. I'm saying hip hop. Like, how did they get? Like the same way I just like I'm not. I'm see. The point wasn't about Amos being done dirty. And you see, you missed the point. There wasn't a point. The point was I showed an example how he delivered his power to somebody else. Like we can actually see how it was done. I'm saying, are you able to do the same thing with hip hop? Can you show how hip hop exchanged hands as simple as I show how Amos exchanged hands with this company, just to someone else?
If you would let me finish, I would have answered that question. But so that's what I can't do. I can't do the one sentence cutoff shit. Like my nigga, you gotta let me explain because I fully understand your point, and I'm actually building upon that point. I'm rebutting and presenting dissenting arguments to your points. So please let me finish. Okay. So as I said, they already controlled and maintained the mainstream, right? They control the American bandstands. They control the VH1s. They control the MTVs. They control the ABCs. They control the radio stations. Even right now, our radio stations, Hot 97 and Power 105, all of them, they're owned by Clear Channel Broadcasting, Jewish people. They still control the mainstream. They control it. They control it. So to your question, how were they able to gain control? Simple. They already fucking had the control. The only thing they did was say, well, we'll acknowledge you. We will allow you to take part in the mainstream, if you will, as long as we set the terms for your entry. That shit is unethical and immoral and something that only happens with us. We should set the terms for our entry since we are the ones who created the shit. We should be able to say, this is how we want it to go. And this is the direction and trajectory we want it to be in. There shouldn't be backdoor meetings and deals with powerful record execs that say, look, this how we going, this the trajectory we're going to send the niggas on. We're going to have them rapping about a bunch of killing and selling drugs and filling prisons, buying Gucci, and doing all this extra shit because we're comfortable with them being in the mainstream as long as they do this. No, you should respect what we have built, and our position in the mainstream should be earned. You understand the buying power. You understand the potential for exponential growth. You understand that hip hop was on a trajectory to where now, 20, 30 years later, it's the number one genre in the world. You understand that. You've seen that. So deal with us respective and accordingly. What do you want? We want part of that. What do you want? How can we help you? Since you have built this great movement and the people love you, what are the terms that you're acceptable with? No, we don't got to do that. We don't got to do that. What we just going to do is act like you niggas don't exist, take the shit from you, and then tell you the terms. That's wrong. And it's some shit that only happens with us. So the reality of the matter is, you ask, when did they take control? They took it soon as they made it mainstream, soon as they allowed you on the mainstream, soon as they said, look, We're going to give you a hip hop category in the fucking VMAs. Look, I mean, American Music Awards. Look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to allow people to recognize you exist now. Okay. We're going to recognize you as a respectable entity in the music game. We'll do that now, but you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. So we're going to set the terms for your entry, NWA. We're going to set the terms for your injury, P. Diddy. We're not going to, we're going to set the terms. We're not going to respect what you've built. We're going to take it, monetize it, send it in our own trajectory, and put out a product we're comfortable with. And because we run shit and we own you and you're under our thumb and you are our golden goose and our slave, you're going to fucking deal with it, Gaza. You're going to deal with it, niggas. And that's it. Oh, you don't want to sign this contract? All right. Come on, Russell. Come on, Diddy.
I got a video for you. Because you spoke on in that letter, like they wanted to change, like pretty much dirty up our image. So I got a video for you. I want to get your, it's 2 small clips. It's like probably a minute total, 36 and like 26. I want to get your thoughts on this right here. So I'm gonna play the video now. It's 2, like I said, it's 2 small clips, like a minute total.
After Sugar Hill Gang, if you look at Africa Bambaataa,
I gotta mute something. All right, let me mute this. Yes, I'm gonna play. I won't be able to hear you because I'm gonna disconnect my audio from the Zoom thing. So once the audio clips in, I'm gonna connect my audio back because I won't be able to hear you because I got a big echo. I don't know if you can hear it, but I got a big echo. It's terrible. So let me just disconnect my audio for 1 second.
After Sugar Hill Gang, if you look at Africa Bambaataa, they were dressing more like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes.
Like a lot of costumes.
Yes.
And then Run DMC, because of, God bless, Jam Master Jay said, let's dress like those D-boys.
Right.
So they dressed like the way street guys dress, drug dealers would dress. And when they put that look on,
With the
Kango, shell toe, leather, blazer, this, that, and the third, then they looked like they was just getting that money.
Right.
It wasn't about that costume. It was a complete left turn from what those guys were doing, and that was huge. But after Sugar Hill Gang,
D-boys and rap and D-boys that seem to be so interwoven.
well, the kids the artists are coming from the street. So as a result of the artists coming from the street, the guys that are around them and the guys they idolize, they probably at some point worked for, were the street guys. And sometimes the street guys were the first guys to give them money. It was the startup money. You know, go make this music, go into the studio, what have you. And that's a lot what led to, you know, what got them going. So that's the connection. But the truth of the matter is, even prior to the fact that was the guys they looked up to and gave them money, that's what the fans wanted.
Right.
So you were emulating the street guy. So a lot of these guys, very few of them really are street guys, rappers. They were more emulating street guys because that worked with the fans.
D-boys.
Yeah, if you want to speak to that, let me take it to the bathroom. Come. Matter of fact, don't say it yet, because I'm just here to the bathroom. So.
No. Oh. You? I know you don't smoke. I got a massive fun.
Magnifying glass.
Mom? Hello, can you hear me? Shut up. You had to be high. Oh, good. I don't smoke, nigga. You know that. You want to Alhamdulillah. Yeah, man. Who? What? Don't ever disrespect me like that again in your life. I ain't eating no pork. I'm on a podcast right now.
Yeah.
Dropping
What was
the
that?
science, you know.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry to say.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm on the block. Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Hello?
I'm back. Did you see the video?
Hello?
Oh shit.
I'm being heard.
Are you hear me?
Hello?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. So the video. What's your thoughts on what Steve Styles said about the D boys and the early rappers?
I mean, the reality of the matter is, as he said, none of these niggas was really street niggas, right? First of all. Second of all, you had Africa and Bambaataa and them dressing like Earth, Wind, and Fire because that was prevalent and it was a scene, a look that the people did accept and respect. Okay? They respected, they accepted the fact that, you know, I mean that it was the time. It was the time, right? Now, kudos to Run DMC. Okay, they put on the D-boy clothes, whatever. But and for all intents and purposes, that was a costume as well. You chose to create a particular look that replicated one particular aspect of society, of black society, the D-boy. We had a lot of different fashions that we was wearing back in that day, back at that time. You chose this particular costume. So more power to you. Granted, whatever. They you know, um begin to dress a little bit more common. Okay, but that's the evolution of style, right? So, you had bell bottoms in the 70s. You had the Africa Bambaataa suits in the 80s, the Michael Jackson red leather such and such. Okay. And then you had the D-boy. Michael Jackson was a brother. Michael Jackson, you go look at his videos like The Way You Make Me Feel, different ones. He wanted to let you know he was black. I mean, it was in there with black women, black people, on the block in the alley. And my man had on fucking white socks and shoes, jeans, and nobody said Michael Jackson looked crazy. That was the particular style of the time. Okay? You look at House Party. The three hoods that was chasing Kid and them niggas around. These niggas had on crop tops, stomach out, belly shirts. Like there was various different looks, if you will. They chose Run DMC this particular costume. Yep. But even though they did that, there was others who still chose other costumes or chose to other dress other ways that were still successful, still mainstream, and still respected.
Yeah, you want to do a feature?
Sure.
Let's get one. We do a whole video.
I'm going next Tuesday in the studio. I got you. So, I'm my boy. Say, yeah. Knock it off. So yeah, so I mean, I feel what Steve Stout is saying. I mean, you know, and whenever you get to this, that's what the people wanted bullshit.
Uh-oh.
It's like the last live we did when the one brother was up there talking about some negativity sells. That's what the people want. What people? Who told you that this is what the people want? Maybe a certain demographic or a certain portion of society, but that ain't quote unquote what everybody want. Okay, fine. They chose a costume. It dumbed things down a little bit. It was a little bit more normal. All right, fine. I don't understand what relevance that has to any of the points I'm making, but let alone, you know, to the fact that, what I'm saying, like there were other prevalent styles that were still respected at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the look they chose. Cool, it worked for them. Fine. It's fine. But just a few years after that, you had niggas wearing kente cloths. You had niggas wearing crazy, wacky, red, blue, yellow, all types of different, short sets and shit. Okay, that's what happens. People come out with designs. Certain people rock with these designs. They say, "Yo, this design is dope. I'm going to wear that." Okay, fine. I don't understand. I understand like I said, the relevance. Um, yeah. I mean, so yeah. I mean,
All
I
right.
don't know. Next question.
Let me ask you this. How do you personally define a culture vulture?
A culture vulture to me is not one specific individual, but uh, I would say, I would say, um, let's say group practices that act irrespective of the group they're stealing from and try to present their the ideas of that group to the world as their own. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like,
would you say like the Beastie Boys, would you say that they fit that?
yeah, to a degree, I would, but remember the Beastie Boys still had an element of rock and roll type shit to their shit, right? It was still like it was rap, but it was still kind of white boy music. Like it was, you know what I mean? I respect the Beastie Boys. I think the Beastie Boys was dope, but they're culture vultures and in their own right. Vanilla Ice,
Okay,
another one. You know what
a
I'm
better.
saying?
So how does somebody become of the okay? For example, because hip hop wasn't always there, like you said, it started with people, black people, and those people became of the culture. But there were some black people who never took it upon, so they was not of the culture. So how does one non-black become part of the culture?
Well, to me, the culture is a very broad, nuanced term, right? So when you had the Drake and Kendrick beef, they act like Drake wasn't from the culture because, you know, he didn't grow up selling drugs and killing people, like or quote unquote in the slums. To me, that's not the culture.
That ain't
To
what
me,
they
that's
meant, man.
to me that's not the culture.
That ain't what they
To
meant.
me, well, to me, that's not the culture. So the culture can't be reduced or deteriorated or pinned down to one particular aspect, right? Growing up in the streets and the projects is just as much as a culture as growing up black in a better neighborhood, but going to a black church, okay? Or you know, your mama throwing black cookouts every week, when we playing Frankie Beverly and Maze and so and so, whatever the case may be. You know, the Nation of Islam is just as much a part of the culture as the Protestant church or the Lutheran church, right? The culture can't be pinned down to one particular facet. the culture encompasses all that makes us us.
Wait. Now you
Okay.
said us. You said because I was about non-blacks. So who's the us now? Black.
Yeah, I was talking about black people, like, black, cultural black culture. That's what I was talking about at the same
Question
time.
was the question was, can non-blacks be part of the culture?
I was getting here.
Okay.
So because you can't define or pin down the culture to one particular asset and facet, then if you grew up um um and your life encompassed any or one, two, three, four of these facets in a substantial way, you part of the culture. I don't care if you white, black, Spanish, indifferent. Okay, you're part of the culture.
I agree.
Right, exactly. So like I said, there's nuances here, right? Now, like I said, when you have somebody who didn't grow up with these facets as being a substantial part of their upbringing, but then also want to take these certain aspects and present it to the world as their own, to me, that's a culture vulture.
Give me an example. That right there. Give me an example.
All right, like the Japanese boys that breakdance and shit.
Yeah.
And that be running around here with the fitted hat to the side and baggy clothes and doing the yo, 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 yo. You a culture vulture. You wasn't trying to put breakdancing on when it was black people doing it. We wasn't on your main stages. You put some Chinese boys out there and then presented it to the world as if this is a Japanese thing, breakdancing, Chinese thing. And that's who you got breakdancing. But you ain't paying homage to Queens and the Bronx and Brooklyn. You're not paying homage to the boroughs in Jersey.
You're not paying. How would they pay homage in your opinion?
By respecting us while we were doing it. Put us on your mainstream then. Put us on your main stage then. Don't act like we don't exist. Until you
30 years later though.
Don't act like we don't exist until you're ready to usurp the shit. That's first of all. Second of all, pay homage. This is where it was born. This is where it was built. We're gonna get some black folks up here. We're gonna pay homage.
They got black folks involved
to New York City, and to the inception of this. We're gonna constantly remind the world where this came from. We're gonna constantly remind the world. That's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, so granted, whatever. I'm not mad at them. They took it, they monetized it, they made it their own, whatever case may be. But still, no, that's my example of
that part I agree with. But I don't know if they're not doing it, but that part I agree with, that they should be reminding the world that they didn't come up with this. Where it came from. Yeah, that part they would have to do. I'm not sure if they do that because I don't follow their breakdancing thing, their culture that they took. I don't know. But let's say if they did do that, let's say, because we don't know, we don't really follow it, but let's say somehow in the underground world, Japan, like, did they do have like some paperwork, some lessons where so whoever joins it kind of like the 5%, they got to read these lessons and learn where it started from and these different people who were involved early when it started. If they did that, would you have a problem with them and what they do with the breakdancing? And do you like it? Do you like their style of breakdancing?
I mean, the reality of the matter is, it would be a step in the right direction. Is it substantial enough that they would have their designation as culture vultures removed? I don't think so. And B, to make me happy or okay with the fact that they vulturized us, I don't know. But it would be a step in the right direction, let's just say. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what was the second question you asked?
Do you like it? Do you like their breakdancing? Like, is it something you think is cool?
Oh no, them niggas is good.
Okay.
I used to watch like America's Best Dance Crew and all these different shows. A bunch of Chinese motherfuckers up there, and like they, But see, but this is something that I went to on the last live, right? Once once they usurped and took control of our music, and they presented it to the world as they wanted to, guns, drugs, killing, selling. They removed all of the key elements of hip hop. The DJ. I'm talking about the scratching and mixing DJ, the break dancing, the pop locking, all these things that made hip hop hip hop. It wasn't just about rhyming words.
Who removed it?
The powers that be, those people who set the terms for our entry, the record labels, the companies. You keep asking me who. You're talking about the same person, people. Okay, they removed the every element of hip hop that they weren't okay with, that didn't lead to the eventual outcome that they wanted. Okay, they wanted us selling drugs, spending money, being in prison, sexual irresponsibility, which leads to abortion.
Wait. But I recall like early rap videos where the DJ was in the video, and like there was people breakdancing. Yeah, I
Early, exactly that, early, my nigga. Like the reality of the matter is the DJ was a component, a vital component of the hip hop act. You had Salt Pepper and Spinderella.
yeah,
You
but
had hold on, let me finish, please, sir. Damn. You had Jam Master Jay. You had DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. The DJ was a vital component where they would get up there and they were mainstream in their own right, stars in their own right, based upon the DJ. Now it's a bunch of niggas on stage jumping around. You barely even know who the fuck the DJ name is. Excuse my language. It's not.
oh,
They removed. They
you,
they
you thinking for the DJs? I got it.
they removed that element. Okay, the pop locking, the breakdancing. You understood the potential for exponential growth, just why you usurped it and gave it to everybody else. But it can't be allowed in hip hop no more. Don't you niggas do it. We're gonna take that from y'all. Give it to the Chinese and the Japanese and whoever the hell else. They just had fucking breakdancing at the Olympics. No niggas. No black
It
folks.
was black folks in there. Stop.
I might have been one or two.
Yeah, no, wait. Let me say this. But the one or two, because they had rankings, right? The one or two was like number one and number two as far as rankings. So they respected their abilities, and they had as a most dominant dancer.
No.
They did.
They were one and two because we the best. Because we created it. Because it's in our soul, in our bones. Because we're more athletic than people.
You won't be number one. If you take your butt up there, you will not be number one.
I didn't say that I would be. But I'm also not a break dancer. That's like saying, oh yeah, you can't beat Serena in tennis. I know I can't. But motherfucking Rafael Nadal can. Roger Federer can. You gotta get people who are the best of that particular, area of expertise. So the reality of the matter is there's barely any black folks. But the overall point that I'm making,
left it behind. They don't want to be part of that like that. We moved on to other stuff.
Overall point that I'm making is that you understood its value when you gave it to the Japs and the Chinaman. You understood its value when you put it on America's Best Dance Crew. You understood its value when you made it a freaking Olympic category. Okay? But you didn't understand its value when it was all niggas doing it.
Yeah. Is it possible?
Hold on, let me finish. When it was black folks doing it, all of a sudden, we don't act like that shit don't exist. It ain't until we can take it from you, make it our own, monetize it, vulture it. That's when we're going to give respect for the b-boy and the breakdancer through other people, but not you. You're a no good nigger who can't do nothing but
Hey,
sell
look,
drugs.
let me ask you a question. Have you watched DJ Academics interviews?
I've seen some.
What about Joe Budden?
I've seen some.
What drink champ? What DJ Blast? What about Alan 22? They all cut in. Stop saying nobody cuts in. It's a skill to know when to cut in.
I just feel as though, if a question is asked or if a point is being
No, but
made,
I'm not gonna let you forget your point, and I'm not
gotta
gonna
let-
let you not answer. I'm
because
cutting into because I think something could be possibly maybe I need to rephrase the question to get more of the answer I'm looking for. So that's why sometimes I interject. It's not to not hear the answer. It's not to you can't finish your point. The way you're answering,
I know.
yeah, go ahead.
I just feel as though if somebody's listening to me cook or you cook or whatever, and you're trying to get to a particular point, and then there's interjections every 10 seconds, the people lose out because now they don't even remember. Attention spans are short.
No,
Now
no,
I gotta try. Now I gotta try to bring them back
no.
to the
But
point.
if the interjecting is already like maybe you're not, maybe in my opinion you're going off. You're doing what I'm saying you're doing, and the interjection is actually bringing you back. Is that
It's
possible?
not though.
Okay.
It's not because I'm everything I'm saying is relative to the points that I'm making.
Sure. Take your
So
ass,
you just
take
you
your
just
ass to Mad Hopper and watch how many times he stop you and try to get more out of you.
hey, first of all, these are not debate platforms; they're interview
No, we're not.
platforms. All the ones you just mentioned.
Debating, bro.
Yeah, well, they're not debate platforms though, but sometimes debates do arise. I'm not saying that they don't,
Well,
but
I'm not debating you.
whatever.
I'm interjecting to, like I said, maybe bring you back or maybe sharpen up the question so the answer is more, where I was looking for. But you definitely can't get frustrated at every interjection if it's definitely keeping you within the line of your logic.
I mean, I'm not getting frustrated. I don't like having to say, let me finish 30 times, but whatever. All right, what was the next question?
Yeah, don't take your ass to Math Hopper or DJ Academics. They're gonna cut in every If you read the chat Academics, they be complaining about, hey, academics, let them talk. Same thing with math, but that's a part of, I guess like the business.
On a podcast.
So
I'm on a podcast.
especially you and your podcast. I forgot about your ass. Yeah, he got his own podcast Thursday, I think, 8 o'clock?
So,
Thursday, 8 o'clock.
yeah, Thursday.
And he be cutting him like a mug. What this guy talking about? Anyway, okay, so we talked about vultures, and he extended to.
Oh, he called me. He called me. Yeah, he called me. Thursday. It's Thursday 9 to 11 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, Thursday 9 to 11 p.m.
And why he cut me off?
No, listen. I try to be respectful on my guests and my panelists and all of that, but I mean, at the end of the day, a cutoff.
You do what I do. All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right, what's the next question?
Okay, so I want to say this because you were saying that the DJs and like the dancers, like, which is true. Hip hop, the rapper had those in it in the act itself. And at some point, as they, like you said, you're looking for this mainstream hip hop, and that's why I say, looking back, you should have done that, because when you're trying to do business to expand it, or you're trying to be mainstream, those people who are investing the money, they're going to have a difference of opinion where different trajectory where it should go, and you guys negotiate and work out whether that's okay or not. Okay. So, but at some point, like people, even the DJs and the dancers themselves had to see, like, you know what, the rapper is getting all the attention. Maybe I should stop dancing so much, and maybe because I want to be the person being interviewed. I want to be the reason why we got this deal or talking to this exec. I don't want to dance no more. because I'm like the least powerful person in the group. I want to start rapping.
Okay.
So
that's not what happened.
Oh my God, he says not what happened. Get some receipts here.
This time was once they took control over it, they removed every element that wasn't conducive to creating a fucking criminal, that wasn't conducive to highlighting all the negative aspects of Black society. So no dancing, no creativity, no pop locking, no candy rap music, none of that. Nigga, we going to deteriorate that shit until you only rapping about choppers, shooting Black people, blowing up the fucking block, being ruthless, and then we're going to act like that's just normal trajectory of hip hop and not acknowledge its very clear detriment on the youth of America. So we not even going to just acknowledge it. What we're going to do is we're just going to remove every fucking aspect. I mentioned on the last live how because dance is such an integral part of the music, every time they try to remove the shit and end up popping back up. You know, you had niggas kidding playing. You had us, pop locking, doing all of that. They try to remove it. Straight thug, grab your crotch, wear hoodies, jump around the stage. Niggas had whole dance routines back in the day. Early 90s, it'd be 3 dudes with a high top fade on the back of the joint, like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, boom. We removed that. 10 years later, niggas is like, ring with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. Crank that Soldier Boy. A dance. Walk it out. A dance. Dancing crept its way back into the music. All of a sudden, they come out with T.I. and Jeezy and all of the down south rappers that grab their crotch, jump around the stage, and talk about killing people. This is by design. Then another 10 years go by. We Bobby Schmurdering. We Millie rocking. Doing what's the little joint when niggas hit the ground? Oh, the Pop Smoke where they kick your leg out. We doing the motherfucking the folks and the dab. We doing the dab. Dancing is an integral, essential part of hip hop. Every time they try to remove it, it creeps back up, and they stomp it right back out. And then come out with TikTok with a bunch of people doing dances. There's just no place for you to have that in your music.
TikTok, man. Hey, come on.
So the reality of the matter is this, the b-boying, all of that stuff, like I said, it was something that was usurped, that was removed from the paradigm on purpose, by design. So, to create that BS. And, another thing, the bands, bruh, all 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, everybody had bands. Jackson 5, no matter, you had a band. They removed that shit from hip hop. You just up there, they gave the bands to white folks. You got Green Day and Linkin Park all through the 90s. They out there with their band, Aerosmith, U2 and Matchbox 20. All of them got a band. And each band member is a part of the group. Matchbox 20 is one lead singer, drummer, the band members. When you go look at right now, the cover art on Apple Music for Matchbox 20 is everybody in the band. It's not no disinterested party. Yeah, I got a band once. You got this drummer this day, that drummer the next day. No, the band is a part of the group. They removed that. You just gonna jump around the stage, nigga, and talk about killing people. That is the trajectory of hip hop. It is overt conditioning designed to place us in a certain position as a people. That is a fact. And it's not rocket science. It's not hard to see what the hell I'm talking about here. It's not rocket science. Okay? Jesus Lord, they taking it and they're doing what they want with us because we're their golden goose. Now you got hip hop, despite all of the sinister agendas placed upon it, that has still grown to be the #1 genre in the world.
So earlier I asked you a two-part question. You only answered one part, but you will get mad if I cut in because I asked you who created hip hop. You already answered that. But then I said, does it matter? That was the second part. So does it matter? Like, because people are debating it now. Who created? Like, do you feel like that's a worthy debate, or you feel like it's not worthy?
Sir, I already explained why it matters. It matters who created it because we need to retain control over it and operate from a position of power. I already covered that. Okay, you got to listen. You got to listen. And then, second of all, um, um, the debate on who created anything that black people created is always a debate. They let a few years go by and act like white folks did it. Look at Alexander Graham Bell. Um, uh, Granville T. Woods was the mind behind Alexander Graham Bell. He was the true inventor. Granville T. Woods, a black man. Look at Ford. Ford, the mind behind Ford was George Washington Carver. They act like this nigga only created the peanut, but he was the inventive mind behind Ford. It was him.
Let me
So
get your thoughts before you go too far that way. Let me get your thoughts.
hold on, wait. So we're going to now take, because I'm still going. You got to follow me. Damn. So we're going to now take. Y'all need a better attention span because I'm going down the same path. So now we're going.
Allergies.
Listen. Yes, my boy. Listen, because I'm about to bring it home with my next sentence. There's always a creative mind behind these inventors that they removed from history 30 years down the line. So the debate on who created hip hop, that's not nothing new. That's another black invention that we're going to wait 30 years and act like somebody else did it. They did it with country music. They did it with hip hop, rock and roll. They did it with blues, jazz, and everything else. We're going to wait 30, 40 years and then act like really who created it was this guy. Really who created it wasn't you niggas though. After they've usurped it, after they've drained the coffers, after they have monetized it, they don't want the world to know all the inventions you've had, the true intellectual contribution you have had to this country. So they just gonna wait 30, 40 years and act like, oh yeah, well technically, it wasn't you niggas. It was technically this person or that person who created it. But it really doesn't matter, does it? Yes, it matters. Give us our credit. Give us our money. Give us our respect. That's it. There's no in-betweens. Everybody on this planet that has created something deserves to have their names go down in the annals of history as creating something great. But when it comes to black people, straight from slavery, we constantly removed from history, like Granville, like Benjamin Banneker, like George Washington Carver, who they made a eunuch, chopped his. People don't know about George Washington Carver. Man was so smart, they castrated him so that he couldn't procreate his brain, his intellectual brain. They chopped his balls and dick off. And you want to talk about sinister? That's not even a part of history. Oh yeah, George Washington Carver created the peanut butter. We're not going to tell you the true inventions he had. We're not going to tell you that we were so threatened by this black intellectual mind that we castrated him.
That's a different lie for that. When you get back to hip hop, because I want your thoughts on what this guy's about to say about, because it kind of goes into your the story you're telling about controlling the narratives and not pushing certain things and pushing the wrong things, right? For a monetary or whatever reason, personal reason. So this is a case in point that you might want to say yourself.
Now you have been
no, I
you
want to
have
bring.
been
I want
called
to.
a
Hold
culture
on real
vulture. I'm
quick.
gonna say
Yeah.
now. How do you respond to because people have called you a
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Got this double echo. Let me get rid of this double echo. Okay, so hold on. Okay. I cut this thing off again.
now you have been
no, I want
you
to
have
bring.
been
I want
called
to.
a culture vulture. I'm gonna say
Yes.
now. How do you respond to because people have called you a culture vulture before?
I'm 37 years doing this. So there's good, oh boy. So when you're 37 years and continuously inventing yourself and winning, people don't, there's a small subset of people that don't like those people. That their fortunes may not have reinvented themselves, that are upset. But like I said, I don't really pay attention to them. The first time that I ever heard that Dame Dash had an issue with me was my daughter called me up and asked me, "Who's Dame Dash?" I don't pay attention.
Now you have been.
No, I want to.
Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Okay. So I was talking and I forgot I took my audio off. So this wasn't the actual audio I wanted to play.
I wanted to see that again because I wasn't able to see it.
All right, so give me a second. Give me a second. You just helped me out just now. Because you didn't see it good because I played the wrong clip. So I get to play the right clip. All right, hold on.
Oh.
Thank you. All right. Let me. Let me get you the right. Now, watch I don't even have the right. All right, so I'm gonna go back to that, and I'm gonna play the right clip. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I'm looking for this clip, right? What was the other? Hold on. Okay, because you talked about earlier, right? Losing power, they're gaining it. Can we get more specific? Because because when you're exchanging power, a lot of times contracts are introduced. Like same thing with boxing and everything else. Like people, boxing, record industry, though in the sports itself industry, like people really have a problem with those contracts, sports contracts, entertainment contracts, and boxing contracts. Could you speak to some issues you might have had knowing about the contracts in, let's say, entertainment, record labels? If you're talking, we can't hear you. Okay.
The contracts are.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, the contracts are trash. The contracts do not benefit the artist. They primarily and majoritarily benefit the record labels and companies and execs. They have bullshit ass deals like 360 deals, which you make money off of every single thing a person does, and you making minuscule amount. Back in the day when records were being sold heavily, these records were being sold for $9.99, and rappers was getting 20 cent, 15 cent off each copy. Each copy. This is the face. This is the artist. This is the creator. This is the reason the music is selling. It's set up to benefit them. You rarely own any of your royalties. You do not own your masters. You do not own your publishing. All of that is owned and maintained by the system. So you really have to be cognizant of the deal you sign and try to make it work in your favor as best as possible. That's becoming increasingly harder because every year when someone fights for their rights and their publishing and their royalty, the record labels get smarter as well. And they just amend the contract in certain ways where they always benefit primarily. Then on top of that, they can shelf your ass. You got a lot of artists. Look what happened with Day 26, Danity Kane, the band. We all was listening to Day 26, Danity Kane. They could have had great careers if they had the freedom to just drop music, to sign deals. Diddy handcuffed them and shelved them. That's why you don't hear no day. That's why you don't hear no Day 26. Day 26 could have been like Jagged Edge, one of them. They could have dropped the album every year for 5 years, came out with a bunch of hits, and right now been, at Madison Square Garden, Day 26. Diddy handcuffed them with bullshit ass contracts. So the contract is not set up with the artist in mind. In fact, about it, Michael Jackson talked about it before he died. When he said in that video, he said, Tommy Mottola is the devil. These record labels and these record companies are chewing the artists up and spitting them out. Why do you think we have so many one-hit wonders? It's not always because these people didn't possess the ability to come out with another hit. It's because the record labels take you, squeeze the juice out your hit, and shelf your ass, and then get somebody else to come get a hit, which is why, and in this way, they always retain the power. You can never grow bigger than them. And then you have certain artists who defied that, like Michael Jackson, like Prince, like Whitney. They are dead. All after grueling battles that they had with the record companies to retain their own masters. So these record companies and record labels are really, really destroying the artist. They're destroying the creativity of the artist, the potential growth of the artist, because they want to maintain control of the situation. They want to be in control of the situation. That's what they want. That's what they need. You understand what I'm saying? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was on mute because I didn't want to interrupt. But let me. Okay, so what does a fair contract looks like, right, for an artist from a record label? For an artist from the record label.
A fair contract?
In your mind, like if you like, could you
Give
say
me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my daughters real quick. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, because I think that's a good question for people who say that they don't like the contracts in the sports industry, the entertainment industry, and the boxing, which is sports. Sports and entertainment, like most people say, they don't like the contracts that's given to the people that's participating, and like they'll tell you why contracts are bad, and they'll explain some of the bad contracts. But I always want to know, like, what do they believe a good contract looks like? Because the bad ones, like Brother Focus said, the bad ones are going to, what he said they're going to favor the company, the person who's issuing the contract, which is, we could believe is common sense, right? So now, if the artist, if the boxer, if the singer or comedian can write their own contract, I'm sure it's going to favor the comedian. It's going to just be the reverse, right? So the industries, the company's going to say, "Hey, man, we don't like yours." So it's like there needs to be some type of middle ground, like a middle ground contract. That's what I want to see what Brother Focus contract looks like. That's fair for the artist. I want to see if there's going to be a middle ground one, or it's going to be one that the record label could say, "Hey, I don't like that one. Like you're exploiting me now." That's why I asked that question. And then, like, once you answer, I'm gonna go to the video, the clip that I wanted you to hear. I think you actually like. Your okay, so I pretty much got the clip I'm looking for. Let me just make sure everything is there.
I'm saying that's hypocritical though. You're saying
It's opportunistic. Yeah, I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Okay, there we go. Now I got what I want.
I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
Vulture.
I don't know what's this.
Okay, I got my clip.
But I think it helped change the course of the
All right.
class.
Oh shit! I saved it on the wrong channel. Anyway, I got the clip. So whenever you become available, I will play the clip. And let me just go back on. Oh shit! I saved it on the wrong channel. Anyway, okay. So IBM said, oh, okay. Yeah, I would love to see IBM.
Hello?
Do a presentation by himself and just, okay. All right.
My fault.
Okay.
I'm picking up my girls from school, and they got to go get their book bags and stuff. So I just said I'm gonna sit in the car until they get down. They'll be down in like 5 minutes. So I gotta go back out in 2 seconds. But I'm here now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was explaining that like most artists, sports player or comedian or boxer is they're gonna say the contract is in favor for the person issuing, right? The agency, whatever, the entity. But I was asking you, well, what's a fair contract for, let's say, a rapper from a record label? And I was saying, would it be a contract that the agency believe is unfair to him? Like, would it be the reverse? So if you could comment on that, like a favorable contract where the artist benefits and you believe is also fair for the record label.
So first of all, an artist should retain and maintain their masters. Okay. See, that's first of all, because what happens is I make this deal with you and you retain my masters in publishing in perpetuity. So now when you shelf me, you're still making money off my art, my talent, my grind for years to come. All the royalties are now going to you and it's making you richer while these niggas is dying broke. So this is why Prince and Mike, all them niggas fought for their masters. You have to maintain your masters, okay? As far as the publishing goes, I believe, once again, it should err in favor of the artist, okay? Third of all, I don't think a record company should have the power or ability to shelf anybody. If you done with me, be done with me. And let me go take my talents to South Beach. Only in this game. It don't happen in the NBA. They cut your asses over. You don't get to cut me, shelf me, and say, and you can't sign with no other team. No, I go out there and sign as long as I got the ability. But only in these record labels can they shelf you. They can just sign a contract and shelf you. Why you think Mace haven't came out with nothing? Mace was supposed to sign with G Unit. Diddy shut it down. He said he shelved until you give me $3 million. At a certain point, 50 said, look, Mace ain't even worth that. And then that's going to take his whole budget out. He ain't going to be able to drop a project, this, that, and the third. So as a result, Mace has not came out with no music because Mace was shelved. The band was shelved. Danity Kane was shelved. Many other prominent one-hit wonders that we know of were shelved. You can't come out with no more music. You signed this deal, you're done. Till we say you can come out with music, you can come out with music. I don't think any record label should have the ability to shelf anybody. You tell me you're not going to put out my music and you done with me and you don't see a potential in my growth and progress, let me go, cut me loose. That's a fair contract. That's fair. We can make money together, but you getting the lion's share of everything and then getting retaining all of my biggest hits, the royalties, the publishing and the masters in perpetuity. That shit is false and bull, because the record labels will always have the power at that point. I'm going to take you, we're going to drop that hit, we're going to put some marketing behind it, and that's it for you. And they doing this to black and white artists alike. The one guy came out with the I'm going to marry her anyway. You ain't never heard nothing but him from him. They shelved him. You're done. Might come out with an album here. We ain't gonna market it for real. You know, I might owe you an album too. We ain't gonna market it. We're not gonna put a bunch of money behind your single. You gotta really, you know, like go off with your creativity and kind of force them to respect what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why a lot of people went the independent route and stayed the independent route. You know what I'm saying? Like Migos and them, they came up independent. I think they eventually ended up signing with Atlantic. But once they signed, all that luster they had went out the window. So yeah, nobody should be able to shelf you. You should maintain your masters, and you should maintain the majority of your publishing, and that's a fair record deal, a fair record contract. And I also don't believe in the 360. You giving me distribution, that's what you should be getting money off of. You're not going to sign me and then tell me, you know, I got to come up with the tour, but you getting paid. I got to come up with the merch, but you getting paid. I got to come up with but you getting paid. Off of every single aspect, my likeness, my image, my name, whatever I do, you get 360 degrees money off of everything. These are evil, wicked deals that are put in place by evil, wicked people. And it's not fair. It's like the NFL running back. These people put their life on the line. They're in the trenches. You got people like Saquon Barkley, different ones that deserve big contracts, but they're going to collude all together and say, oh, this is the market for contracts. So now Saquon can't even get 11 million while they giving linemen 40 a year. That shit is wrong. You should not be able to collude and change the game like that. Hold on, let me get my daughters.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to play the 360, two clips on the 360 record label deal to explain what it really is. You know, just so we know what we're talking about, because and also I got videos to explain other deals and the difference in the deals, like, because it looks like some artists prefer. When he said guys are shelved, guys are probably shelved because they didn't sign a 360 deal. But if I'm getting a piece of everything you do, as long as you're in this contract, why would I shelf you? You know what I mean? You're losing me money. But if you don't have that deal, then yeah. You know,
Bro, it's because, first of all, deals don't last forever. I might have 2 albums, 3 albums, it's a lot of period of time. Whatever I make in that time, you want to keep all my posting in perpetuity. I have a problem with that. But deals don't last forever. If I grow myself to a particular point to where I'm bigger now than the label, once my 2 albums is up, I'm operating and negotiating from a position of power.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Exactly. So and you know, once you come back, I'm gonna play these 2 videos where they're gonna explain exactly that. So right now, I'm going to explain Kevin Lyles,
Over here.
and then I'm going to play a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer. So Kevin Lyles is going to explain 360, and then I'm going to have an entertainment lawyer explain 360 and what to expect from it.
Where are we going, Dad?
I gotta take home to the doctors.
So we're
Because-
all going to go to
Yeah.
Because as I said, some artists prefer 360 deals, like they said, Lady Gaga prefer the 360 deal, and she enjoys it. So once you're settled, I'm gonna play this video. Two videos.
That time? On the phone?
No, I'm on a podcast.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
How's your daughter now?
One's 8 and one's 6.
Oh, you got two daughters.
Yeah, I got 2. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was used to home and I guess the 8-year-old daughter. Wow. All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, no,
I know I'm a little late.
Thank
I'm 6 years late, but
3 kids.
huh?
Shut up. I said you shut up.
Yeah, time be going, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Time be going. You know what's crazy? Time goes, but I don't feel like I'm older. And I don't feel like you're older, but your kids is clear evidence that you're older. And it's funny because when you're like 6 and 8, like, damn, they old, but I don't think you're older. It's like,
Yeah.
huh? He talking to somebody else.
I feel you. I feel you. But like my uncle said, he said it the best. He said, you know, your 30s is fun, your 40s is fun, but in your 50s, that check engine light come on. And that's when you get to feel older.
Right. You get check engine light. That's funny.
That's when you get to feeling older, you know? But
I'm gonna play this video.
go ahead.
All right. 2 videos, 2 short videos.
Taking the company public, which is what we do for every artist. We put seed money like a private equity person, and we take it public. So those of us who invested in Microsoft or Apple or McDonald's, when you put your initial money in, you keep your stock. So why shouldn't we share in stock if we're helping building a brand? Oh, if you don't look at yourself as a brand, if you're just putting out records, that's something different. I don't want a 360 on you anyway. But if you're looking at yourself as a brand and you want to be managed holistically, and I do think artists need record companies, and let's not call them record companies, entertainment executives, and I do think that entertainment executives need to have a more personal, robust, holistic relationship with artists. What that looks like, you know, some people, maybe 360 scares people. But if you sit and think about it, who was there when nobody else believed? Who gave the money when nobody else believed? Who put the time in? So why shouldn't they? Taking the company public, which is what we do for every artist.
Slowly but surely, one by one by one, and now almost all the majors are doing it, and quite a few of the significant independents are doing it. They're saying, we will invest the money as we always have. We will continue to have the same contractual relationship and economic and financial arrangements that we always had as it relates to the sale of your records. However, now we want a piece of the pie that you're enjoying from our risk capital. And therefore, the record companies are demanding a percentage profit participation of varying percentages. Could be as low as 5%, could be as high as 25%, could be on gross, could be on net. That's all subject to negotiation, but the essence is that they are now sharing as income partners in all the various areas related to the entertainment industry that an artist is now receiving. It's very lopsided because a brand new artist who doesn't have a sales or track record or history of making money and they're not successful yet has very little of any leverage. Slowly but surely, one by one.
Okay.
Yeah, so before I play the next video, you can, comment off.
Okay, so first of all, if you notice what he said is fair, it's very unfair because the other side don't have any leverage. That lets you know right there is bullshit. You don't got the leverage, so I'm gonna screw you. Okay, you're not in a position to negotiate from a position of power.
That's first of all. Second of all, what he's saying is fucking garbage and bullshit, because the reality of the matter is these labels aren't taking risks and chances on people that do not build their self first in the independent market. These people already have showed you something. They already have a fan base. Their social medias are already great. They won't even take a meeting with you unless they see the potential that you have created through your creativity, your work, your grind, your effort. So this whole notion, nobody was there for you, it's bullshit. My fans was there for me. That's how you even found out who I was. My followers were there for me. And I was there for me. Okay? So now what you're trying to do is, like he said, oh, well, if you put up this money, why shouldn't you be able to get stock? First of all, nigga, I ain't no McDonald's. This ain't no carbon cut situation with the same assembly line, the same messaging, the same imagery, the same hamburgers, and I'm just eating off of your brand. I ain't McDonald's, nigga. I am my brand, and your brand is Def Jam Records. So you'll be able to make money in perpetuity by signing new artists, and while they're in business with you,
You're breaking up.
With you, not. Hold on.
You're breaking up. Yeah.
I'm driving.
Now,
Can you hear me now?
I heard 97% what you said. It's a little bit you broke up at. And now, oh yeah, you're breaking up bad.
I'm about to drive to a little small dark spot right here. Hold on 1 second.
All right. So when you get, yo, my mustache don't look bad, do it? But anyway, DJ Focus, every artist that gets signed don't have a following. I think that's what he was trying to allude to. He was speaking to the artists that don't come with a following, that just like me, like somebody just, hey, my boy can rap. And I come up there and I start rapping and I sound dope. I might got a little swag. He see a lot of potential, like a Chris Cross. Chris Cross ain't had no damn following when JD got him. So
yeah, that was a different time back then. What I'm saying now is this, and this is a fact. They're not taking chances on anybody. Talent is not even how the game is. Is not the barometer for success anymore. It's not talent. It's marketability. It's catchiness. Okay. So in this day and age, no, they're not taking a chance. Fact about it, you got people with millions of followers that ain't getting majors. That's not on majors. So this whole notion that, yeah, man, nobody was there for you. We just taking a chance on you. And then another thing, that seed money they're talking about, those advances, you gotta pay that back. So you really ain't taking no shit, nothing, my nigga.
Hey, Focus.
Because my first check.
You're breaking up for one. And that video was 14 years ago.
Okay, so once again, that his logic is outdated. 14 years ago was before the social media really revolution. Hold on. Home, take this in the house real quick. Or just put it in the driveway. Put it in the back of that car. It was before the social media revolution. But even prior to that, you know, you had an independent circuit where these people were, you know, they had fans. They was growing themselves to a particular way to where the companies. Just put it in the driveway. The companies and the labels were forced to take notice. Okay. This whole that you
breaking up.
This. All right, let me get to the highway real quick because this shit. Put the place in your phone. I don't know what place. Text mommy. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get to the highway.
So you said something. You said that about taking risks, right? And see, that's the thing. Like when, like the dude was explaining, that's called risk capital. The person who takes the risk is in control of the money.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, you back breaking up.
Like I said, it was, first of all, the video I'm breaking up so bad. It's just back road. Hold on.
Yeah, that back row got less wires or something.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so like I said, first of all, the video 14 years old, so it's severely outdated, and so is the business model, okay? That's first of all. Second of all, you know, you won't even get, unless you're connected in some way, you know, I'm Jay-Z's niece or some shit. You won't even be able to get into the meetings with these majors unless you're bringing something to the table. You gotta have an electronic press kit. You gotta have took your town over, took your city over. You gotta have something that these people believe is marketable. There are plenty of good, talented artists out there that don't get the time of day. Okay, so the whole notion that, you know, yeah, man, we take a chance on you, and it's bullshit. You've seen me growing to a point, and like with hip hop, you've seen the potential for exponential growth, and then as a result, we made a deal. But I'm still the talent, I'm still the creator, I'm still the face, I'm still the one who the people love. So you think because you are in a position of power, you got a little bit of money, you can give me some seed money, which I have to pay back. That's another thing. Oh yeah, man. I started, gave you some seed money. Why can't I keep my stock? Excuse me, sir. We have to pay those advances back. Soon as we get, my nigga, these niggas give you an advance, right? They fly you out. You in limos. You going here. You going there. You doing this. You doing that. You at the studio, $1 million studios. Bro, when your first check comes, you be like, what the hell is this? It's so low, it's a shame. Guess what's on there? All the deductions from the seed money, the limos, they take all that money back off the top. So kiss my ass with we put some seed money down. Then, like I said, on top of that, nigga, I ain't McDonald's, I ain't White Castle. I'm not just eating off your brand. It's one thing if, you know, you've built McDonald's to a certain point. When anybody see those golden arches, I'm going to now benefit off of that paradigm that you guys built, people, and I'm going to make money. All right, I've got to pay a little money in perpetuity for that, 5%, whatever. But the reality of the matter is, I am the brand. I am the creator. I am creating what the people like. It's me. I'm the one who got to go to the lab. I'm the one who have to stay up all night long. I'm the one who have to put in this grueling tour schedule. I'm the one who have to rehearse. While you sit back, take the money, seed money back off the top, and then try to act like, yeah, man, it's fair, man. We put some little bit of money behind you, so yeah, we should be able to eat off you forever. That's bullshit, and it's an unfair deal, and it's unethical. But as the guy said at the end of his diatribe or soliloquy, as he said it's very one-sided. One-sided for who? For the record labels. They have no leverage. They're not in the position of power. That's what no leverage is. It goes back to the point I made earlier. These niggas is doing the same thing with these artists. Oh yeah, with the same thing with these artists that they did with hip hop. We see you making all these moves. We're gonna act like you don't exist. Even though you got 5 million followers, we're looking at your crowds they pack. Nigga, we're gonna act like you don't exist till you get down or lay down. Once you get down or lay down, then we'll come along And we'll say, look, sign this bullshit ass deal, this bullshit 360. We'll make money off you forever. We can shelf you. We'll keep all your masters, all your publishing. It's criminal. These motherfuckers are criminals. That's what they are. They're criminals. So yeah, all that shit they're talking is bullshit. I mean, it's unfair, it's unethical, and they're business practices that have no place in modern society. They're literally committing a crime on your ass, but you have no leverage, so they can do what they want. No, I have a severe problem with the current state of the deals and the contracts.
All right, I'm gonna share this video right here. So a minute 30 seconds.
Viewpoint on 360 deals.
I feel like business is business, right? You know what I mean? Going back to what I was telling you about myself in my younger days, right? My younger business ventures. I think business is business, right? I think who said this? The Hov or somebody say this like what's 100% of zero?
Yeah, Jay, I think
right?
So.
Mm-hmm. So to me, you ain't thinking logical when you think you get everything and nobody get nothing from you. You're not. That's not common sense,
right.
bro.
Right, bro.
You know what I mean? So if we meet, just give us a name. Say this is a brand new artist. We walk out this building today, right? What's your value today? How much you getting for a show today? How many records you selling today? How much merch you selling today? Nothing. You know what I mean? You grossing $500 a year, right? So now let's say us three put the money in, put the work in. Now you making 500 million a year or 5 million, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't supposed to get none of that.
Yeah.
Because it's a term, they say 360 and it don't sound cool and you seem like you more bossed up because you ain't in one. It's bullshit. That ain't business.
Stand on business.
You know what I'm saying? So you basically telling me you want me to put up my money, you want me to put up my time, you want me to take my risk, but you don't want me to get nothing.
Or take, because I have a.
Because it ain't.
Yeah, that's more bullshit. Once again, look at how he craftily, like how, I need to know where I'm going. Call your mother. Jesus Christ. Where was it at yesterday? Fountain Hill? You gotta go back to the same place or no? Call your mom, please. I don't think so, because that was like the actual hospital. He did a surgery. I think you just go to it after getting. She's not into it. God. Okay, right. Yeah, so that's more bullshit. Now look how he carefully crafted the words. He said, "Oh yeah, man, how much can you sell today? Nothing." First of all, that's a lie. A lot of these artists, as I said, already making moves. They're already selling out shows. They already have a fan base. They're already selling records. That's first of all, independently. Second of all, why is he framing it as if the artist is saying, why he say, I'm not supposed to get nothing off of that? Nigga, who the fuck said you wasn't supposed to get nothing? Why do you have to lie? Why do you have to act like we asked you to put this money up and then you get nothing? See, it ain't all or nothing. There's a middle ground. Nigga, what you're supposed to get is a return on your investment, an adequate one. So if you put up $50,000 and I give you $2 million back, you got a return on your investment. That's fair. You don't sit here and say, now you worth 500 million, so now I'm supposed to be able to make $100 million off you forever. That's not an adequate return on your investment. It's unfair. Only thing I owe you is a return on your investment, which you get off the top, as I said, because the first check that come in, they take all their bids and their seed money back. All of it. That's first of all. Second of all, as I said earlier, okay, you can get money, but not in perpetuity. When you're done with me, our deal is over with. You're not going to sit here and keep my masters and make all the royalties off my masters in perpetuity for years to come while I'm struggling to pay my bills and feed my kids. That's my song. I created it. And as much as you want to sit here and act like I would be nothing without you, you would be nothing without me. Without the artists, these labels would be nothing. It's our talent, our voice, our creativity that is putting them in a position as well. So all of this, yeah, man. Huh. Yeah, he sound like old shiesty, junky ass nigga too. Yeah, man. So I ain't supposed to get nothing off of nothing? Nigga, who said you were supposed to get nothing off of nothing? You get an adequate return on your investment. Now, let's talk about equity. Let's talk about being fair. You put up this, yes, but I also put up my image, my likeness, my creativity, that you wouldn't be signing me if you did not see the potential for exponential growth. If you didn't see that the people fucked with me. Look at Jack Harlow, all of these niggas that came out. These niggas all had viral hits. Justin Bieber was a YouTube sensation before any of these niggas took a chance on them. Cardi B was on Love and Hip Hop stripping, coming out with mixtape, drop 6 mixtapes in this year with bitch working as hard as me. They seen her come out with Bodak Yellow. They seen it blow up, and Atlanta gave her a deal. All this, yeah, man, don't nobody know you. We ain't taking a chance on you. It's bullshit. You realize that I'm a great fucking investment, and as a result, we go into a deal together. Now, as I said, he never talked about the shelving part. Shouldn't be able to shelf me. He never talked about owning the masters. He talking about a 360 deal. Okay, a 360 deal is simply when you make money off of every facet of my career. If I make money off merch, you get paid. If I make money off the show, you get paid. If I get paid for a festival, you get paid. If I go on a TV show, you get paid. If I get a movie deal, you get paid. That's what a 360 deal is. That's bullshit. You put a couple dollars up to get me signed for my music. I done parlayed that into a podcast that's viral and movie deal. I'm a movie star now. Now I gotta pay you forever off my movies. No, that's bullshit. Sitting here acting like, yeah, man, nobody wanted to sign you. Man, get out of here. A lot of these artists, it's bidding wars. They all, look, I'm gonna sign with you, I'm gonna sign with you. There's bidding wars, my nigga. So all that shit is crap. I mean, everything he's saying out his mouth is bullshit. And it's a grimy ass justification for raping the artists. Now, he can still get money. Let's work out a fair and equitable deal. Get a return on the investment. I get to retain my masters. You get to retain a portion of the publishing. I get to, you know, if I parlay this in the movies, whatever the case may be, that's on me. And when you're done with me, you're done. You can't shelf me, close up business, but then still make money. Nigga, when I put that seed money behind the McDonald's, if those doors close, I don't make no more money off that McDonald's. That investment's over with. Why is it that the artists now have to get shelved, not come out with songs for 15 years, but every time that song is played at Walmart, whatever, you get the royalties? My nigga. No. Once I'm shelved, once you're done with me, once our business deal has concluded, whatever the case may be, I want to retain my masters. I want to retain I want to make money. You got your return on investment. You felt as if our business wasn't lucrative anymore, as though, you know, I wasn't no longer worth you pushing. All right, you made your money off me times 10. I'm going to go back about my business. See, but they want to retain the control. So not only is we going to shelf you, we're going to keep you from making any more hits. All right? You signed to us. So if we say you can't make more hits, you can't make more hits. So the only hits you're going to be able to ever make is the ones that make us money in perpetuity. That shit is wrong. I don't know where I'm going, son.
I got another video for you. You ready?
I don't know where I'm fucking going. Yeah.
I don't know where you're going either. You're all over the place. I got another video for you.
Oh yeah. Put in 153 Barhead Road. Go ahead, I'm listening.
All right. So I got 2 Steve Stout videos, and then I'm gonna get your response. Hold on.
I want that.
What is this? It's a distribution company. But what does that mean? Well, what it means is if you found your audience before you had a record company, you have all the leverage. You don't have to work for them.
Right.
In fact, they should license it from you. That's what a partnership is all about. A lot of what Damon was saying back in the days, pardon his delivery, but he was really talking about that, right? Like, you already control, our culture controls the opportunity. We already can build the audience. So why do you need to then turn that over to somebody else to own when you could retain it and they can just license it? And that's been my problem with the record business. Not that the record business is wrong, but what used to be the way or the only way is no longer the way at all. Fuzzy, like, what is this?
Come on, man.
It's a distribution company.
You see me getting the fuck over, nigga? What the fuck? I'm supposed to turn? Fuck. Fucking see me getting over, nigga? Like, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My fault. Got road rage. I'm going.
Did we go yet?
Hello?
There's guys that we sign all the time that's like, I'm going to turn down money from a record company. And I'm going to take, if you can give me $15,000, 20, if I can just get that for the next 3 months, I can make this thing go. And I'll do that, but I'm not going to sign my rights. Yes, great. I don't want your rights. I don't want your rights anyway. So therefore, I'll give you the advance against my share, but you own the rights and you can sell it if you feel like it down the line. I don't want to be the owner of anybody's rights. So whether you're a podcaster or an artist, a music artist, it's the same model. Get the buzz going and then go try to get some money, but don't sign your rights away. There's guys that we sign all the time that's
I hear.
Reaction, please. Yeah. You breaking up. You breaking up. You're breaking up. You breaking up.
Can't get scheduled and sync. Update everyone fast by recording a video.
Okay, go ahead. Are you breaking up? You breaking up still?
Jesus.
It's like you on my road.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. Yep.
Come on, bro.
Hurry up. Close the door. Come on. All right, come on. Let's just go. Yeah. Yeah.
So you watched those last 2 videos, Steve Stout?
Hello? Can you hear me? Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, you watched those last 2 videos with Steve Stout?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Go.
hella clips, but I'm not gonna do a lot today.
All right. So hello.
Yeah, right here now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on one second. Each time my son needs to wait.
Oh, I didn't know that. Right now. Oh, that is dope. I didn't know that.
We're trying to sign in.
Yeah, you froze. You definitely froze. Don't forget, everyone, our scent smell for this show is, oh damn, you can't even see it. Prada Black. That's what it is. There you go. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Prada Black. There's the scent for this podcast, this live stream. Dig. Let me hit him up like Tupac. You dig?
Hello? You hear me now? Oh, I'm right here. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Right. So that goes back to the point that I was making, which I totally agree with him. You build yourself up, which a lot of these artists have to do anyway, and then you negotiate from a position of power. This is what I've been saying this whole live. Negotiate from a position of power. See, the thing about it though is that when you say to these people, look, I don't want to sign these deals, whatever the case may be, you then have to go a little bit more of an arduous task, which is your prerogative, okay? And then they basically ignore your existence, and everything you do is what you build, okay? Everything you do, you know what I'm saying? Now, if dude says, look, I'll give you 15,000, whatever he said, $20,000. I don't want to keep your rights. You know, I'm just giving you this little seed money advance, whatever the case may be. All right, you make that decision to do that or not. But I believe that would be more in the best interest. You know, it's like any investor, right? You say, look, this is what I built, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I can give you. I can give you a return on this investment at this particular, you know, at this particular rate, whatever the case may be. You feel me? But I'm more agreed with what that last brother just said than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you operate from a position of power. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel.
All right, I got something for you. Hold on. This is another way to do a contract. All right. I'm gonna play two and get your response to play two because he got like six. I'm gonna play two, your response, two, your response, two, your response, and then that'll be all. All right, hold on.
So a JV deal is when you take typically a major record label, right, and a indie record label, or a label that's not a major, and you bring them together with the purpose of producing one act or a series of acts. All right. The reason that you do a JV is because the independent label in question in this particular scenario has performed at such a level that they can sustain themselves on their own, or they have the potential, they have the knowledge, the know-how, the capability to sustain themselves on their own, and the label understands this. However, this independent company or group of people or whatever organization that is doing the deal with the major, they do not have all of the bandwidth to really scale effectively and efficiently. Therefore, they want to partner with the label to handle aspects that they traditionally cannot handle. Let's talk about what that may look like. All right. So a JV deal is when Let's talk about what that may look like. All right. First off, JV deals are traditionally 50-50. Boop, boop. It's typically 50-50 down the middle. In a JV deal, the major company that does the deal often fronts the expenses, right? If they don't front all of the expenses, they're going to front the majority of the expenses, all right? So let's say it takes $100,000 to get something done. The label's going to spend all $100,000 or nearly all of the $100,000 to get that done. However, when revenue starts coming in, the label is going to be responsible for collecting all the money and doing all the initial financial servicing that occurs when revenues come in. They are going to retain or recoup their $100,000 before they do the 50-50 split and start paying everybody back. All right. Let's talk about what that may look like. All right. First off,
any comment on that, or you want to hear more?
That particular deal, I think it's more equitable. But remember, everybody's not getting JV deals or being offered that. A lot of times they're saying, look, they operate irrespective of the fact that you can sustain on your own, and they say, look, we find this money, so we're going to give you. Remember, every major is going to first present a deal. That's why it's called the deal. You got to negotiate it. You just have to be negotiating from a position of power, like I said. But they're going to offer you a deal that benefits them primarily, right? So everybody is not being offered these JV deals, okay? Everybody's not being offered that, But still, the question still remains, who keeps the masters? Who keeps the publishing? Can you shelf me? Can you have creative control over my brand and what I can do and can't do?
Those are great questions when you're signing a contract. You're right.
Right. So all of that still plays into account when you're dealing with trying to get the perfect deal for yourself. Okay. A lot of artists now are trying to negotiate to where they retain their masters, where they retain the majority of their publishing. Okay. Because you don't got $100,000 you back. We're working together 50-50. Okay. And I'm offering you, like I said, my creativity, whatever the case may be. Now we're working in a certain capacity to where you not only gained your 100,000 back, but you gained a nice return on your investment based upon the time we were working together. Once that time is over and complete, your investment is over with. It's still my creativity, should be my masters, my publishing. It's my intellectual property. I created it. Okay. So therefore, when you're done with me, that perpetuity, those masters, the money that's being collected, till the end of time should go to me. I should be able to retain my masters. And that's what a lot of artists are fighting for now, is the ability to retain their masters. So all of these things still go into play when you're talking about, signing a good deal, or what you would, what you would call a good deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. You know what I mean? So that's what I have to say about that. Everybody is not being offered these JV deals. Vast majority of people are being offered 360s and deals that benefit the record label primarily. Majority of them don't retain any of their publishing or their masters, okay, at all, okay, and they're they're, they're able to be shown
You're breaking up.
they can't future. So these are what the artists need to be wary of when they're signing. Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. You're more clear. Yeah, you're more clear now.
Yeah, so this is what the artists should be wary of when they're signing these deals. These are the questions that need to be asked, you know, when they're signing these potential deals. Now, you know, there is going to be a line that the majors aren't willing to cross in negotiations. You know what I mean? And you have to know whether or not you're comfortable with that line being the line that you know,
I'm the same.
Create the sand. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it like I said, it should be a mutual partnership, and it should be something that we both, you know,
agree on. Right.
Agree.
You come to terms and you say, okay, this is good for me, or you believe it is, right? You have a lawyer, whatever. But so now remember the old live I had of you playing?
Mm-hmm.
That was from my old channel that you was a part of a lot. That channel was deleted from YouTube for 3 years, bro. So the last time you were there, that channel was a shelf for 3 years. All right. So I never gave up. I appealed YouTube over and over and over. And today, and then the other day I did something clever and it came back on, right? So they agreed that they made a mistake and they put it back on. So that's how I'm able to replay some past content that you were on. Prior to that, bro, all that was permanently lost. I didn't have no copy of that stuff. It was permanently lost. Okay. Hey, go to sleep. No, not looking. All right. So he kind of messed my train of thought up, man. Damn.
You said that the old stuff was permanently lost.
Yeah, but I got it all back. Like all of our content, like everything you ever did. I just the only challenge now is finding it. I got like hundreds and hundreds of videos, and I did a poor job of titling things. You dig? So I really got to like just skim through videos to see what the ones you're a part of. But the reason I brought this up is because YouTube. The reason why I won my case is that YouTube didn't really have a set way to how you see how I'm playing the clips, and this is all legal. I can play these clips. But at that time, focus, YouTube had no real clear way to how we can share people videos that's not ours. So all I gotta do is flag you for sharing my stuff, and YouTube will ban you. And that flag could be wrong because I might have shared your video correctly. So in my argument, it's going to negotiations. I'm saying it because of that. In my argument to YouTube, in my appeal, I'm like, yo, now you actually have a feature. So focus. If you look at my screen, you see my mouse. This is the thing that YouTube added. It says clip. I said, now you guys got an actual. So that means that you knew you had a problem. You solved it, but you want to punish us in the past. Like, oh. You got an actual clip that we can do the videos, and this is legal. We can legally share these guys' content without any persecution or punishment, any flag. Now, but you didn't have this before. So you're as, you know what I mean? Like, I can hold you responsible for why I messed up because it wasn't clear as now. And by the way, this clip feature, it tells you have 1 minute of somebody else's private intellectual property. I have 1 minute of their stuff, and they can't do anything about it. But I'm like, but there was no set limit during the time you flagged me. You didn't have a set limit. You did. So I'm like, but you got one now. So how are you penalizing me for something you didn't even know?
Right.
And bro, I worded something like that, bro. Negotiating, and bro, I'm telling you, in 4 hours, my channel's back up.
Good.
So I agree with that part. What you're saying, I don't agree with everything you're saying. It's all about the art, but that part, what you're saying about negotiating and fighting for yourself, leveraging, all that, bro. I'm with you 100%.
It's important. It's important. It's very, very important, man. Like I said, you got to make sure that you're negotiating from a position of power, and you have to stand up for yourself, man.
But everybody's not in the position of power. Everybody don't come with that large following, though. That large King Von following. Not everybody come with that.
Yeah, and those people rarely even get the meetings with these majors, bro. Like these majors, they want to see exactly what you got going on and if it's worth it.
But hold on. But look what you said, Focus. You just said that the people that come with the leverage has more negotiating power. But then at the same token, you're saying that they'd rather have somebody without that. So Focus, yes, no, they really want they would love somebody like myself that has no following, no IG, no history of rapping. Let's see, I'm 20 years old. I'm 20. They want me coming in the office because now they get to paint me picture direct. They get to make me exactly what I'm going to be, and they get all of the money and everything off me because I came. So like they would actually rather somebody who comes with nothing, where they can with some potential, of course, and they get to dress me, direct what I'm going to rap about, the videos, the crowd. They want somebody like, according to what you're saying all day. That's what they really want. They don't want somebody with negotiating power. They want somebody who don't have no followers. All right, hold on. Let me. You could dress. Let me do something off camera real fast. Oh.
Hot.
Yeah, somebody needs some encouragement to go to sleep. Anyway, let me play this video. You probably know this, but I'm playing for the viewers today and the potential viewers in the future.
All right. So you spend $100,000, you make $1 million. The label's going to take their $100,000 back that they initially invested. You have $900,000 left. The label will then keep $450,000, and the independent label or the smaller label will then take the other $450,000. This was the dream deal, right? Especially in the 90s and the 80s and any time before that, even early 2000s. Why was this the dream deal? Because the label was taking all the risk and still splitting the profits with you. And as an independent company that's growing, that was a sweet deal. However, this deal was reliant on the idea that the label had the faith or the evidence that you would indeed see positive returns and that you just needed a quick loan, a quick turnaround loan, right? There's not much risk on the label side because they've already crunched the numbers. They've seen what you've done in the past. They understand what you're capable of, and they know that you're going to knock it out the water, right? You think about deals like LaFace. Right? All right. So you spend $100,000, you make $1 million. The label's going to take their $100,000 like LaFace. Right? LaFace, you knew L.A. Reid had already established a history of being able to, he was in the process of, he established a history of creating dope records with him and Babyface. They had multiple hit records at the time. Of course, we can do a joint venture deal, right? T.I. and Jeter, they're known for their JV deal. That was a big JV deal in hip hop, right? That's T.I. and Jason Jeter. They did a deal with Grand Hustle, and they were able to do this because after they got dropped by the same person, L.A. Reid, right? They went out on the road and pushed their own music and pushed their own record and got themselves popping and hot again. There was a huge demand, and when they went back to the labels, they said, this time we want to be in control. We're going to do a JV deal. It's like LaFace.
Okay, so Focus must have lost Focus connection, and he'll be back, I'm sure. Let me stop. I got 2 more videos of this guy, and that's pretty much that's gonna be it. So I got 2 more videos of this guy. That's 1 minute max each video. Then I got a Dame Dash. Then I got a Lear Cohen, and then I'm gonna sign. Then DJ Focus can, conclude, and then we're gonna sign off, and we're gonna come back to this. We're gonna wrap it up tomorrow. But most importantly, we're gonna focus. I'm gonna focus on culture vultures, like real ones, real culture vultures that I touched on yesterday. I'm gonna bring it back tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about how detriment they are, and why do we embrace them? I mean, like at like a 98% rate. Big. You see my mustache? You see how dark my mustache is? You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Look how that's natural. 46 years old. Where's the gray? Where's the gray? Maybe it's painted, maybe it's not. Maybe it's painted, maybe it's not. But anyway, I got hella clips. Like I said, I got 4 more clips. I got 2 more of the brother who just phase 6. Look him up on YouTube. He anybody who's into music and learn a game like contracts and music deals and entertainment, like the guy, that's what he does. That's what his channel dedicated to. Okay, it's phase 6. Like he got the Roman numeral 6 for YouTube. If you're into that, you can look him up. Yes, I got 2 more videos of his, I think, or 1 more. I've lost count, but I think I got 1 more, and then I got 1 more video of his, and then the Lear Cohen. No, I got 1 more video of his, and then I got a Dame Dash video, and then a Lear Cohen video. But let me see, where the hell is focus at? Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can reel them back in. If not, I'll just play the videos, and I'll conclude, and I'll get them. I do my Jerry Springer, my final thoughts. You did? Because I'm definitely ready to slap somebody. You see what I'm saying? So let me see if focus can come back. If not, like I said, I just want to play the videos and close out. I don't want a long video. And I'm going to re-upload this on my old channel that was deleted, that I recovered. This is going to be like a reference video. You can come back and clip it. Uh-oh. Somebody needs some encouragement to go to sleep. Dig. So he just looked at my comment on Facebook. So let's see. Let me see. Yeah, I can see this. Come. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Okay. You said give him 10 minutes. Negro, I'm about to be off in 10 minutes. All right. He ain't gonna make it to 10 minutes. All right. So I'm gonna close out. Let me play the last video. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be funny. I'm gonna send the link, the live link. That's his hint. Like, I'm getting off this. I ain't trying to make it like an 8-hour video. Then I'm gonna rewatch it, and I'm gonna clip my own video. Then get his ass back over here and say, "Hey man, you ain't answering." I pressed it wrong. I sent to that weirdo IBM. Okay. All right. Let me. Yes, I'm gonna close out. Let me go ahead and share the next video. Couple videos, and we're out of here.
It's like LaFace, right? LaFace, you knew L.A. Reid had already established.
One second. I replay this. 1 second.
In a JV deal, you spend $100,000, you make $1 million, right? Which was a great, great work, right? The label may not be happy if you only made $1 million because your album probably you sold very little numbers if you made $1 million. But let's just keep it there for now, right? $100,000 spent, $1 million return. In a JV situation, the label's going to get the $100,000 back. Then it's going to be 900 left. There's a 450,000 split across both sides. Now, I'm not mentioning mechanicals and points and all these other type of things. I'm just talking about the bare bones numbers. All right, which means the label is going to get 550,000. They net 450. You net 450 because you didn't spend money getting into the situation. In a JV deal, you spend $100,000. Distribution deal. The label or the distributor, whoever, distribution side of the label, whatever, they give you $100,000. You make $1 million. It was an 80-20 split. They're going to get their $100,000 back. And then that $900,000, they're going to split it 80-20, right? Distribution deal. the label or the distributor, whoever, distribution side of the label, whatever, they give you $100,000. You make $1 million. It was an 80-20 split. They're going to get their $100,000 back. And then that $900,000, they're going to split it 80-20, right? 80-20. So 20% of 900,000 is about 180,000. So the distributor is going to walk away with 180,000, which leaves you walking away with what, about 720? That should be right, right? 720? Yeah, $720,000. I believe I got that right. And if I didn't, you guys can do the math yourself. You get the point, right? In a traditional label deal, it may be like 90-10. The label may spend 100,000. They turn around and sell 1 million copies. At the end of it, the label is going to say, all right, we're going to get our 100,000 back. And out of that 900,000 that's left, you're going to get 90,000. And then they're going to retain the rest of it, which is some distribution deal. The label.
Stop. Don't say, you're speaking my business and you don't know what you're talking about. I ain't take no money from Def Jam. What you talking about?
What I mean take, I mean they cut you a check.
No, they didn't cut me a check. We had a formula based on performance. And they calculated and we got paid.
That's
and they
us.
stop. That's not us.
That's what we doing.
No, we listen. Before we had Rockefeller. We put up our own money for Rockefeller, right?
Okay.
Then we sold half of it. We became partners. So that means no one gave us anything. We were 50-50 partners. We built something and sold it. That doesn't mean you work for somebody. See, they let you believe that. So then what happened was, based on a formula. You want to know what a formula is? It was profit times a certain number. So if you make this much profit times 7, that's how much your number is.
Okay.
Based on that formula, they bought the rest. That's it. That's not nobody giving me money. I never worked for them. Stop. Don't say, you're speaking my business and you don't know what you.
Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you? Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You
more
ain't
than
got.
me?
Answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Kanye.
You ain't got the
if
answers.
but
You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You
more
ain't
than
got.
me? Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the
Kanye,
answers. You
relax.
ain't got the
Bro,
answers.
relax. I'm asking you.
You
a
ain't been
question.
doing the education,
bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Calm down.
You don't have the answers though,
Calm down.
because you trying to give me advice about something. You ain't got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money
You're
trying to empower
absolutely right.
yourself.
Yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and doing putting out clothing lines at a smaller degree. All yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and doing putting out clothing lines at a
Money
You're
trying to empower
absolutely right.
yourself.
Yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and doing putting out clothing lines at a smaller degree. All I'm asking you,
and it ain't no Ralph though. It ain't Ralph
but
level.
let me ask you this. I'm asking
What's the
you,
name of your clothing line? We don't know.
Kanye.
You know what I'm
clothing lines at a smaller degree. All I'm asking you,
and it ain't no Ralph though. It ain't Ralph
but
level.
let me ask you this. I'm asking
What's the
you,
name of your clothing line? We don't know.
Kanye.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I lost money, but that's not
Exactly, and I could lose money on a higher level too. Now, who's gonna be the Medici?
I don't know what's this opioid thing. I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
Well, being a
So with that
crackhead
said,
wasn't
would
cool
you-
back then. Being a
What?
crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and
It's
to
the
be on
most
these pills.
dangerous. It's the
Perks
most
and Molly's
dangerous
and-
thing that's facing, our society.
Are you?
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
But I'm saying that's hypocritical though. You're saying the
It's
opioid problem's a problem.
opportunistic.
Yeah.
I got people to feed.
Oh,
I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
I don't know what's the